Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Met Center tonight, or this afternoon, rather, this morning, whatever you wish. As the Met Center fills up, Bart Archer, the Section 5 championship will be decided between the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the Edina Hornets. This has been a matchup that's been ballyhooed throughout the week from corner to corner of the metro area.
Well, no question about it, Pete Wagner. This is the way it should be. The two best teams in Section 5. We have Lake Blue champion Edina Hornets, only one loss during the conference, and the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars, of course, breezed through the Lake Red this year. Should be a pretty good one today, Pete Wagner. I think that there are a couple keys that we'll get to as the game progresses, but definitely going to be a good game.
The 24-0 Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the 19-5 Edina Hornets. Bart, Edina losing once since the Christmas break, and they also lost two big games in that Holiday Classic. So much of their losing took place before the first of the year. They're on a roll of their own as we're underway. The Hornets set it in deep. LaFleur chases for the Jaguars. He'll play it up on the far side. There's Tim McDonald. He'll be forechecked. Comes back up high. Fricky shoots. That's deflected. Stick save Keppel. Crowley will play it back up. McDonald has it. Tim McDonald fishes it free of the neutral zone. Here's LaFleur. Quick transition. LaFleur 3-on-3 leads. Jones shoots. That one wide. Carom will be taken by Casey Hankinson for the Hornets as he's checked by Checo. Puck comes back through the neutral zone. McDonald is there. Checo again. Nick Checo ridden out of the play by Fricky as the puck comes up high. The Hornets control back into the neutral zone. Enrico with it. He'll bring it back into the neutral. It's batted down by Checo. He'll have to wait for his club to touch up. They'll change on the fly. Neil Johnson on for the Hornets now as behind his net is Jeff Salmon. He'll break it up on the left side. We're in the early going. Period number 1. Section 5 title from the Met Center on BEC-TV and Paragon Cable. We have a great co-op set up for you here as Bianchi just offside. Face-off coming up outside of the Edina zone.
Well, Pete, some pretty good action just a minute into this game. Edina putting on some early pressure. Jefferson responding as well. Quick line changes, want to get everybody into the game, get the pregame jitters out of their system and get their legs about them. Edina looks pretty good so far, Pete. They are well prepared and they're ready to play tonight.
As the face-off will come, Bart, as we get into the second and third lines, I'm sure this is where we'll find the telltale difference of these clubs and see how the second and third line perform, especially for the Hornets. There's Brendan Pota, man, I consider a key right there on the left side as he takes Dusty Anderson out of the play. Jags will flip it up. That's knocked down by Bastion. He sends a pass over on the right side there for Tom Moe. He's bumped but squirts free. Moe to the corner. He has Johnson in front. He'll be ridden off the play. Here comes the physical presence of Corey Peterson up for D. St. Hubert. Now Lundeen. Court Lundeen tries to get by Bastion. He rides him out of the play as the puck goes to the corner. Bastion sticks it in the corner. Neil Johnson now. Bianchi there as well. Plays it free. Lowell is there. He'll be bumped by D. St. Hubert off the puck as the puck is played back up high and out of the zone. Bianchi takes over. Big check in the neutral zone as the Jaguars flip it in. Skoglund out now. Bianchi has it, tries to give over, can't, and Murray plays it back in deep. Watson stick save in the corner. Skoglund has it. He'll play it back for Luke Murray. Murray back. Skoglund alone. Shoots. Save. Watson. And the puck is... Actually, there's going to be a penalty coming up, I believe, for checking from behind on one of the Hornet players, Bart Archer, as Skoglund was all alone in front.
Well, Pete, I think that's Stevie Salmon. Stevie Salmon going to go off for checking from behind, putting Jefferson on the power play just 2 minutes into this first period. One important sign for Edina right now is they're winning the battle for the loose puck in their own zone, and they're playing a very physical game on the blue line. They're finishing their checks. They look pretty good to this point, Pete. They didn't need a penalty, but we're going to see that very powerful Jefferson power play. Boy, if they can kill that off, that'll sure be a shot in the arm for the Edina Hornets.
Bart, you hear the Waddy chants for Matt Watson and goal for the Hornets. That is reminiscent of the Bertram chants for Matt Bertram of the Edina Hornets with those great years, 3 years in a row in 87, 88, and 89. Off the draw, Jaguar power play underway. Fricky in deep. Up high for Checo. Here's Mike Crowley. Great puck handler up high. He'll shoot. Deflected over the top of the goal. Watson lost it. Bianchi takes it in the corner. Joe Bianchi up high for Crowley. Crowley will walk, shoot, no, gives back off for Bianchi. Crowley will shoot through traffic. That one deflected wide. Puck caroms back up high. Nick Checo will be forechecked. He'll play it back in for Lundeen up high for Checo. Nick Checo will shoot. That's sticked over the glass by Watson. Saw it all the way on a blast up high by Nick Checo.
Well, Pete, Edina's got to be very conscious of the appointment on this power play. Nick Checo and Mike Crowley, they like to get involved on the power play. They get those shots from the shooting area. Mike Crowley was able to walk in and take a big shot. Watson made the save, and Checo returns with another big shot that Watson deflects into the crowd. Rebounds are going to be very, very important for Matt Watson and the Edina Hornets.
And the Hornets clear off the draw with 1:25 to go, and the penalty time to the Hornets' Steve Salmon, as Checo will set up shop behind his own zone. Here's Checo. Right wing pass for Bianchi. Gives back for Checo across the checkered line. He'll dump it in as the Jaguars chase it down. Matt Jones is there. Fricky and he will collide. Jones gets the puck. Nice hit in the corner. Matt Jones out front. Walks, shoots, save. Watson. Puck comes free and cleared out of the zone by the Hornets. As the Jaguars with another good scoring chance, down to 57 seconds on the power play. Jones has Checo streaking. Here's Crowley. Checo in front. He shoots. He scores! Oh boy, on the power play, Bart Archer. The Jaguars strike early with Nick Checo.
Well, Pete, some good work in the neutral zone by Crowley and Jones. Jones brought it in, dished it behind the back pass to Mike Crowley. He saw streaking Nick Checo. Not much Watson could have done at that point. With the Jefferson Jaguars taking early 1-0 lead. Boy, Pete, that was a bang, bang, bang goal. Definite control, and that's where the power play comes in. Oh, we're going to look at this one on replay. This is where the man advantage becomes so very important. Nick Checo, untouched, uncovered, coming into the zone. Great, great feed by Mike Crowley. Jefferson up by 1. There you go. There's Crowley seeing Checo zooming into the zone, beelining it for the net, and he beats Matt Watson to put Jefferson up by 1 early.
You know, Bart, what I found interesting on Checo streaking, when he was up high, you didn't see it in the camera, he started to go, drew a little bit of presence from the Edina defense, and pulled back until Crowley really had a good shot at making that pass, and then he found himself, that was a good play. That's a big league play, like you'd say, on Nick Checo, as Skoglund gives off back behind the net. The Hornets will bring it back out, trailing 1-0 with Neil Johnson across the line. Johnson crosses the checkered for the Hornets. Gets around Corey Peterson, has Pote in front, sticked out of there by Keppel. And here come the Jaguars. Skoglund has Murray on the near side. Bastian is there as well for the Hornets as they'll fight for the puck. Bastian plays it back up on the near side, but there's a Jaguar. That's Skoglund with it as he'll play it in deep. He'll be watched by Johnson. Lowell is there, takes the body as the puck is still fought for in the corner. Comes up to Pote on the near side, banks it off the boards, back in the neutral zone. Corey Peterson on the backhand, picked off by Johnson. Now here's Peterson. He has Skoglund wide, but he'll take it to the middle. Corey Peterson with some room. Peterson up high, shoots, glove save. Watson, he'll hold. Face-off coming up to his right.
Well, Peter, I have a feeling Matt Watson's going to be covering a lot of pucks. You're going to see a lot of shots tonight. But getting back to what you're saying about that play, it's the rotation of the defense, especially shorthanded, that has to pick up the extra man. And they'd like to do a lot of crossing and misdirection passes, and that was a fine example of that. Draw the defenseman in, dish it off, and find the open man streaking for the net. What a great goal by Jefferson. Edina has to be conscious of not getting too back on their heels at this point, saying, uh-oh, here we go now. Jefferson's starting to buzz. They have to take it to him. They were being very, very effective until that penalty, and they have to get back to that.
Good point, Bart. Not much you can do about a power play goal, and that's the mindset you have to take. You'll have your power play opportunities to try to tally as well as Crowley takes it. That's a shot go, pad save. Watson. Here's Lundin in the slot. Oh, that might have hit the post, but Garvin takes away for the Hornets. Steve Salmon with it now. He crosses a checkered line as that hits traffic, and LaFleur takes over for the Jaguars for D. St. Hubert. He has a man wide, but Fricky will play it back to safety in the neutral. The Hornets will control as Lundin brings it back, plays it back. LaFleur will be forced to retreat. Garvin, 4 checks on him. Gets a stick on LaFleur as the Jaguars. Crowley plays back up for D. St. Hubert. Back in the corner, Crowley. Crowley looks back up on the far side. Pickpocketed out front. Big chance there for the Hornets, but D. St. Hubert brings it back. Leaves off for LaFleur. LaFleur flows up in the play very well on the right side. Plays it back through. Here's a shot. Save. Watson rebound. Puck's free on the right side. Jaguars. D. St. Hubert will chase this one down. He plays it back behind the nets. Controlled by Steve Salmon. Banks it, but not out. LaFleur has it up high. Plays back through the slot area. That's picked off and played back in the neutral zone, as this one will not be an icing as Keppel plays it. He'll outlet way up high, and here comes McDonald. That one gets away from him. Lowell will play it back up the boards and in the neutral zone. It's played back in. Bastian bats it down. He'll play it off the boards. It's taken now by Keith Anderson as he's bumped controls. Plays it back. Corey Peterson. He looks up ice, hits Matt Jones with Checo on the right side. Jones instead shoots. He scores! Oh, whoa! Bart Archer. Nick Checo deflects that shot from Matt Jones to give the Jaguars a 2-0 lead.
What Matt Jones did coming into the zone is he hesitated, drew the defenseman in, elected to take the shot, and the rebound off Matt Watson went right on Nick Checo's stick. He deposited for an early 2-0 lead. This might be a good time to take a timeout and calm the kids down. because Edina seems to be running a little bit. They're overcommitting at this point. We're going to look at this one on replay. Great play once again by Matt Jones. Fakes a shot, draws the defenseman in, makes him commit. I believe that was number 8, John Lowell. I think he kind of sucked him in there. But Nick Checo puts in his second goal of the game to give Jefferson a 2-0 advantage early.
And Checo plays it in deep with 9 minutes, 15 seconds to go. The Jaguars lead by a 2-0 lead and are sending the Hornets reeling in the early going, but here's Enrico across the line. He has Keith Anderson on the right. He's brought down on the play. Anderson is there. He'll play it back up high. Bastian on the near side. He'll walk and shoot. Save. Keppel. Puck squirts free. Rebound is batted back out to Bastian. He'll let a shot go. That's knocked down by Corey Peterson. Now here's Matt Jones in the neutral. Transition so impressive by these Jaguars. Jones bumped out of the play by Lowell. Anderson in front. Oh, save Watson. Here come the Hornets back. Hankinson. Pass too far for Anderson, and here's Corey Peterson to control as the Hornets change on the fly. Johnson forechecks. Passes batted back in by Checo as the Jaguars will get their troops switched up on the fly. Jeff Salmon banks it off the boards on the near side for Pote. Pote flips it up high in the air through the neutral zone as that one's off the end boards and played in deep. LaFleur will chase it down for the Jaguars. LaFleur up on the near side for Murray. Murray clears it but not out as it's played back in deep by Jeff Salmon. Jaguars control. Good forecheck by the Hornets. There's Pote. Pote tries to kick it free, looks out front, but Ian Peterson takes over for the Jaguars. Ian Peterson, rink wide for Crowley. Crowley tried to find his man through the neutral. Instead, that one's played back into the Edina zone and controlled by the Hornets. Cleared but not out, but now it's back in the neutral zone as LaFleur has it, rink wide, Crowley. He'll cross the checkered, hits Ian Peterson. He takes it to the slot. Peterson, nice move to the inside, then back out as it's back in the neutral zone for Crowley with LaFleur. Crowley crosses the checkered, he'll change and send it in deep. Fricky controls for Edina. As he brings it up, Steve Salmon's open, plays it off the boards, and Bianchi is there back for Dusty Anderson. Now D. St. Hubert has a man open on the far side, but there's Bastian to play it off the boards for Garvin. Garvin looked up ice, but that one's picked off by the Jaguars and sent back into the Hornet zone as Bastian chases this one down. He's watched by D. St. Hubert. D. St. Hubert rides him off the puck neatly. It's played back up high. D. St. Hubert in deep. Ooh, Lowell was there to cover up. Comes back up high. The Hornets control. With it, Randy Binner. Binner and Garvin. Offside, Garvin by a hair. As the faceoff will come outside the Jaguar zone. 7:03 Bart. Shots on goal, read 9-2. Is that the story so far?
Well, pretty much is so far, Pete Wagner, but Edina's responded pretty well after that goal there. You get a look at Mike Garvin, a very physical presence, and can put the puck in the net. Definite asset for this Edina team. Pete, I was impressed. They came right back down and put some pressure on Randy Keppel and the Jefferson Jaguars in the Jefferson zone. They have to play more of a disciplined style in the neutral zone. They have to control the puck a little bit more and establish some territory in the Jefferson zone.
Casey Hankinson is set into next week. He brings Dusty Anderson's stick with him. And it'll be played back in deep by Enrico. Anderson without a stick rides Enrico off the play. Hornets will try to work that advantage without the stick to Dusty Anderson as they fish along the boards. Enrico gets it free, looks back out up high. Fricky has it, plays it back in. Enrico walks to the slot. Rick Enrico, check. He'll shoot. Oh, what a save by Keppel. Extending the pad and a penalty coming up on the Jaguars as the Hornets get a power play opportunity. Enrico and Corey Peterson bump in the neutral. Matt Jones is looking for a third man in, Bart Archer, but the minor will be coming up to the Jaguars.
Well, P. Wagner, Timmy McDonald going to go to the box for tripping. This will give Edina a chance to get in a rhythm here, get some offensive flow going. This is kind of what they needed at this point. 6:32 left in the first period. Jaguars up by 2.
Power plays probably, Bart. We'll be talking to a referee. We'll see if there is such a thing as marbles in the pockets exchanging here.
Yeah, the only bad thing about that power play, I'm sure Edina will take a power play whenever they can get it, but the Enrico and Hankinson line, probably their most effective line in the late stretch, was on at that point, so they're going to have to go out for a rest. We'll see them in the second half of this power play, I'm sure.
Most likely at the 1 minute or so mark as Bastian is there for the Hornets. He'll pinch in and play it back around. Garvin looked out front. That hits the side of the goal. Remember how dangerous these Jaguars are short-handed, Bart Archer, and here's the reason why. Crowley to the outside on Lowell. Here's Bianchi in front, sends it through. He scores! Short-handed goal. They give the Jaguars a 3-0 lead.
Well, P. Wagner, that was a big, big goal, no question about it. The third goal in the game boosts the lead up to 3. Good job by Mikey Crowley. You have to kind of feel sorry for the Edina defender and goalie Matt Watson. They played that about as well as you can play it, but Joey Bianchi hit that low driving fastball, got it between the 5-hole of Matt Watson, and that's where we're going to stand at 3. We're going to look at this one on replay. Mike Crowley does a good job of getting into the zone, drawing the defenseman in, and Joey Bianchi just bats that one out of the midair. What a great goal. We've seen many, many pretty goals out of Joey Bianchi, but I don't think we've seen a bigger one than this one.
That's been 2 deflection-type goals. Nick Checo's almost identical to that one, his second goal, that is. And he pulled that one off to the right of the crease. That one from Bianchi right up the middle as the Jaguars. Again, Bart, if we look at the stats, I'm sure they might have about as many shorthanded goals this season as they do power play goals. We'll have to check that for you as we continue on through the power play for the Hornets with 1:25 to go. Enrico will play it over on the far side. 5:55 in the first period. Jaguars lead 3-0. If you just joined us, Pote ridden off the puck by Crowley. He'll leave back for Enrico. Along the line, plays out front. That one hops the stick of Jones as it's played back in deep. Pote was there, but Crowley gets it and finds Checo in the neutral zone. He'll skate it for the Jaguars. Checo has nobody, no numbers if you will. Glove saved by Watson on the power play. The Hornets will be forced to have a face-off in their own zone.
Well, no question about it, Pete Wagner. Edina is one of those teams that just won't go away, but they find themselves deep in a hole now, down 3-0 to the #1 team in the state. That's the Jefferson Jaguars. It's kind of too bad that a team of Edina's quality has to meet in a sectional final. These two teams should be in the state tournament. This is more of a state tournament type atmosphere at this point. The place starting to fill up. Partisan crowds by both sides, and they're very vociferous, Pete Wagner. There's a lot of electricity in the air, but Edina's got to get some shots on goal, especially on this power play. They have 1 minute left, 5:32 left in this first period. They're down by 3. They have to get something going.
Off the draw, it's played back up. Dusty Anderson still shorthanded for another 54 seconds are the Jaguars. It's played back around. Jeff Salmon hits Fricky. He'll log some Rod Langway in the mid-80s type ice time, which is a lot. Here's a shot by Steve Salmon that's wide. Garvin was there. Steve Salmon and he bump, and it's brought back out by Bianchi. Bianchi, rink wide for Lundeen. Lundeen bumped by Fricky. There's Bianchi, watched by Salmon. And Steve Salmon has it for the Hornets. Yes, there are 2 Salmons out there at this same time. 23 seconds to go in the power play for the Hornets as Fricky gets it through a pair of legs, but that's sticked out of there by Keppel. Big check there by Garvin. Hits the referee. Those are breaks that you have to have go your way, but it goes both ways. It's played back by the Hornets, knocked down by Anderson, and he'll play it over on the far side for Ian Peterson. Power play time for the Hornets is down to 2 seconds, and the Jaguars' Tim McDonald will be back on, Bart, and looks like the Jaguars have killed this one off successfully.
Yeah, they're a +1 on this shorthanded situation. Getting back to that play, Mike Garvin did a good job of bumping 2 Jefferson Jaguars off the puck and sent one back to the point to try to put pressure on. Unfortunately, the referee was in the way. Those are breaks you're going to have to live with. You can't take those too much to heart at that point, but Edina put in a situation 3 goals down. 4:34 in this first period. They're going to have to start floating up some defensemen and playing that high-risk brand that they're not particularly comfortable with at this point against this Jefferson team.
Bart, so far in 2 games in a period, Keppel has seen a total of 21 shots in the sectional plays. As the shots read now 12-3 for the Jaguars as the Hornets bring it back. We're 5-on-5. LaFleur behind his own goal. Watched by Pote as Pote gets it, plays it back off the side of the goal as the puck comes to Crowley. Pote is there again for the Hornets. It comes up to Murray on the near side. He finds Skoglund rink wide on the left. Lowell is watching him. Skoglund to the outside. Skoglund drops back. That hits a pair of skates. Murray is there. His pass nearly picked off by Pote, but there's LaFleur. Watched by Pote. Bastian gets that through him. Here's a shot. That one wide. Skoglund has it. He'll flip it up high for Crowley. Crowley will play it back around. Skoglund. That one gets through him, and Bastian is there for the Hornets. He's watched by Ian Peterson. That comes dangerously close to the crease area as Skoglund's brought down, no call. Puck's in the corner. They'll bump for the puck. Neil Johnson there. Murray for the Jaguars. It's played back off a pair of skates, and here come the Hornets. Lose control momentarily, and Ian Peterson controls. Here's Crowley. Gets by one man and then another. Luke Murray. And it's taken away by Lowell, and a penalty is coming up. Interference will be the call, Bart Archer, but good control and a good forecheck by the Jags.
Well, no question about it, Pete Wagner. Tom Moe is going to go to the box for interference, as you said. Edina's got to start winning the battles to the loose puck, especially in their own zone. Jefferson all over them. Great forechecking team. I think they're a little underrated, if that's at all imaginable, on the forecheck. I don't think there's anybody better at getting to the puck faster than the Jefferson forwards, putting a lot of pressure on the Edina defensemen. The forwards are going to have to come back and help, but Edina now A man short, 3:27 left in this first period. And that is Tom Moe in the box. Edina, boy, Pete, they're not helping their cause any by taking penalties at this juncture of the period.
It'll be interesting to watch once again how Checo and Crowley work it up high for the Jaguars. And they almost, like you say, the defensive rotation, they almost rotated themselves as one, especially Checo, tends to dip down. We'll have to watch that on the power play. Jones has it back over on the far side. Bianchi up high for Crowley. Mike Crowley takes it to the high slot. One-time shot, deflection. Nice save by Watson as the puck is smothered there by a Hornet defender. Good reaction by Watson at the last second to bat that one out of the crease area.
Well, no question about it, Pete Wagner. Good concentration by goaltender Matt Watson. He's already faced 13 shots in this period, and we still have 3:12 left and 1:45 left on the Jefferson power play. I think his work is not finished at this point. He's going to have to play very, very strong to close out this first period.
Joe Bianchi and Casey Hankinson. Fricky finds an opening and sends it to length as Keppel is there. He'll stick it back up for Checo. Checo gets by Hankinson. He's brought down. Lundin has it on the near side for Crowley on his offside. Crowley will walk it. His pass is deflected by Enrico. That one back out into the neutral zone. Enrico takes a heavy check there on Checo and gives him an extra shot. Here comes Crowley off for Jones. Jones has it in the slot, and Enrico brings it back for the Hornets. Rick Enrico playing like a man possessed on this shift, Bart Archer, as it's played back up on the near side for Bianchi. There's Enrico again. Now Hankinson. Oh, he nearly had a good opportunity there for the Hornets shorthanded. It's played back into the neutral zone with 1:05 to go on the power play. And that was dangerously close. Bart, I was looking away from the play, but the ooh was all I needed to hear. Here's a quick shot. That's over the top of the goal. A cannon by Jones as Checo plays it back in. Lundin back for Jones. Jones walks along the goal line, brings it back up on the near side. Matt Jones for the Jaguars. Matt Jones on the outside. Watch closely. He'll give off for Lundin, up for Checo. Fakes a shot. Nice defensive play there for the Hornets. That's Keith Anderson. He's brought down. Penalty coming up on the Jaguars. Happens in front of the Edina bench.
Well, Pete, emotions are starting to run a little high, and you have to kind of worry about that a little bit. Edina's got to focus more of their energy on making the plays out on the ice. Nick Checo, that was a great play by Keith Anderson. Excuse me, at that point. Nick Checo kind of dumped one behind himself and went out of the zone, and Keith Anderson would have had a break-in free on Randy Keppel. Nick Checo had to take him down at that point. Whether we get a larger penalty than just the 2 minutes will remain to be seen. They're sending him off right now. He's going back to the bench. That's a good sign for the Jefferson Jaguars. I thought there might have been a misconduct or something thrown in there with some words being exchanged by the benches. But this will even it up for another 32 seconds, and Edina can finish on the power play, and hopefully they can finish strong, maybe punch one in and get back into this game.
4-on-4 hockey, Bart. Anderson and Corey Peterson, the defensive pairings. Up front, it's going to be Lundin, joined by Timmy McDonald. Salmon pulls the draw back to Salmon. Puck comes back in the neutral zone. Been wanting to call that one all day, Bart Archer. Dusty Anderson has it across the line. He'll shoot, waffled out of there by Watson. As it comes up high, Jaguars win that race to the puck as it's played back. Corey Peterson off the boards for McDonald. Tim McDonald finds Lundin at the line. Lundin up high, shoots. That one deflected over the top of the goal. Well, the Hornets will play it back out into the neutral zone. Randy Binner along with Salmon. That's Steve Salmon on the near side. Jaguars now shorthanded as the Hornets enjoy the power play for minute 24. McDonald will shoot that one wide. What a cannon by Tim McDonald as it's played back in the corner. McDonald watches Lowell. He'll pick off his pass, and it's taken away by Garvin. Garvin plays it back into the neutral zone. Corey Peterson welcomes Salmon to the Met Center boards as it's played back at the line. Here's Bianchi playing it back across the checkered and in deep as the Hornets will regroup and control. Casey Hankinson on the power play with 1 minute remaining in the period and 58 on the penalty. Hankinson plays up for Enrico. Casey Hankinson on the near side for Pote. Enrico streaking. Here's a pass off the boards. Rick Enrico in on goal. Shoots. He scores!
There we go.
Rick Enrico finds a 5-hole to give the Hornets the much-needed goal going into the intermission as they trail 3-1 with 45 seconds to go in the first period.
Well, Pete, that was a great play by Brendan Pote, bringing it into the zone, banking one off the boards. And Rick Enrico picking it up in stride, beat Randy Keppel in the 5-hole. They need to get more shots, but this is a positive, P. Wagner. They are back in this game, very emotional on the sidelines.
You know, Bart, that was a power play goal, but that's what's so important for the Hornets. You'll watch how Pote plays it to the opening, and Enrico finds it there and uses the speed. You'll see that right here.
Well, there you see the bank off the boards. Rick Enrico picks it up in stride and goes for the 5-hole, Pete. I think he knew where he wanted to go, and he made that shot count. Randy Keppel played that one about as well as you can. But nonetheless, Edina pulls within 2. 45 seconds left in this first period. Jaguars 3, the Hornets now on the board with 1.
It'll be Bianchi taking the draw against Neil Johnson for the Hornets. We're 5-on-5 after that power play goal. Hornets 1 for 2 on the power play, as are the Jaguars. It's played rink wide. Crowley back over for LaFleur, up for D. St. Hubert. He'll find Bianchi, who tips it in deep. He'll work on Bastian in the corner. Nice piece of checking there by Bianchi as he brings Bastian down. D. St. Hubert plays it free. Looks up high and plays it back in deep. There's Bianchi, good opportunity. Lundeen. Here's a shot. He scores!
Oh, my word!
Just like that, Bart Archer, they respond and get the 3-goal lead right back.
Boy, Pete, Edina had to finish that period strong. They just had a positive happen, and now they're behind the 8 ball once again, down by 3. What a great effort by the Jefferson Jaguars. That was Bianchi with his 2nd goal of the game. We're going to look at this one on replay. Now you see the advantage, and Jefferson is back to 3. There you see they didn't block him out particularly well. Court Lundeen right out front. Joey Bianchi 1 times. A great pass by Court Lundeen right on the stick. Bianchi made it count, bumps the advantage back to 3. 21.3 seconds left in this first period. Shots 14-5 in favor of the Jaguars, Pete Wagner.
That's pretty telltale tale right there, Bart Archer.
Sure is.
Here comes Jones, in on goal, gets him around. Oh, nearly had the wraparound for the Jaguars as we wind down to 10 seconds. Anderson, McDonald tries to take it to the slot. Anderson shoots, deflected, puck's loose. Oh, that one just wide as that will round out the period. They'll play it up high for Peterson as he shoots that one wide. Little extracurricular activity in the Hornet net. Bart Archer, as tempers are flaring.
Well, Pete Wagner, I think it's a kind of accumulation of emotion and frustration. I don't think Edina player instigated it, so I don't think frustration was the cause of that. I think that there's a lot of words being said down there right now. It's time to take a little break for 15 minutes and cool down and refocus and get back to the game plan for which they had coming in. They have to get back in this game, but they can't expend a lot of energy by being frustrated and by pushing and shoving and word calling. They have to concentrate on the situation at hand. But a very emotional game. I mean, this game is to determine who goes to the state tournament as a Section 5 representative. So we're going to get the little extracurricular after the whistle, and there's a lot of emotion in this game, no question about it.
You know, Bart, I think it's important, too, to note that even though you're down, it's important to keep everything under control. And if you're being beaten to the puck, if they're beating the races to the puck and they're physically outmanning you, that doesn't mean you have to get upset and take foolish penalties, which could lead to that in the end. And when you're down 3 goals entering the second period, sure, there's a lot of time, but don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Well, I think that's a great call, and especially against this powerful Jefferson power play, they're going to have to use some solid judgment, P. Wagner. They can't be running after the puck and checking too much after, like a player gets rid of it, too much after the play activity. I think that's going to hurt Edina unless they nip it in the bud right now.
Indeed, we'll see if they can do that as period number 1 comes to a close with the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars roaring out to a 4-1 lead. We'll have period number 2 coming up for you from the Met Center right after this. You're watching BEC-TV, the station of champions.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
We are about ready to get period number 2 underway as the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars lead by a score of 4-1, Bart. And Yeah, we touched real briefly on some of the keys in the early going, and would those be the keys you're talking about, Bart? Are those pretty much coming through for the way this game has panned out in favor of the Jaguars?
Well, I don't think there's any question about it, P. Wagner. I think Jefferson's pretty much business as usual. Edina kind of caught behind the 8 ball. We got a bunch of highlights that we should probably get to here real quick. A lot more scoring in that first period than I thought there would be. Jefferson opened up the scoring early, and I think that kind of set the tone for the whole period, P. Wagner. Jefferson just coming in droves, and Edina just doing their best to try to fend off. But definitely, there you get a look at the band. If we can pop up some of these replays, some very, very good goals, some beautiful goals. Checo, and here's Crowley over to Checo. Checo breaking in. Edina did a good job of defending this. Just one of those plays where you just really can't stop. There's Matt Jones. Matt Jones drawing in the defender. Nick Checo sliding in. Great touch pass by Matt Jones. Nick Checo puts him up by 2. And here's Mike Crowley coming in once again. Joey Bianchi knocking one out of midair. That was a shorthanded goal. And here's the Edina goal. Rick Enrico kind of one times in the 5-hole past Randy Keppel. And we stood at 3-1 right there, and Edina was back into the game. There you see the Enrico goal once again. And that pulled them. I thought they really had a shot after that, but there you see. Not a bad job of boxing out at this point. Through the crease. Here's Court Lundin getting the puck. Boom, right on the stick. Joey Bianchi one time, so that's where we stand right now, 4-1. Double penalties. Double minor penalties to John Blueston of Edina and Matt Jones of the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguar. Pete, are we going to be 3 skaters aside, and who does this favor?
Well, it's going to, especially with Rick Enrico off as well.
Yeah, and Dusty Anderson as well for the Jaguars.
You can't help but look at the Jaguars in this situation, Bart, with that open ice. They already have the advantage with the speed factor, but when we get 5-on-5, if you're the Hornets and you're Bart Larson, what are your adjustments going to be in the locker room? You're being forechecked to death in your own zone, and your defensemen are being out-muscled. How do you adjust that?
Well, I think the centerman's the key in this situation, at least from my standpoint. The centermen have to come back and give the defense time to set up the breakout. Breakouts are so very important against this Jefferson team because they're on you so fast. The center has to come and at least stop the forward push of the Jefferson forwards and at least give their defense time to set up and find the open man and start that breakout. I think that with Jefferson, there's so many ways that they can really hurt you. And whether it be the forwards, the wings especially, the centers, or the defense like to get involved in the offense. And Edina has so many things, so many assignments that they have to be conscious of that it's hard to really sort things out, but they have to maintain discipline and their composure in their own zone. If they can master their own zone and be effective getting out of their own zone, they can establish some territory in the neutral zone. And if they establish territory in the neutral zone, they're going to get some shots on Randy Keppel and perhaps punch some of these in, no question about it, Pete Wagner. I think that there you get a look at Robert Little, former goaltender for Edina, former standout goaltender, no question about it, Pete Wagner. I remember watching him play. He was a great goaltender.
Wasn't he a Bulldog after that?
I believe he might have been, but wasn't he the coach at Breck for a while?
Yeah,
or
St. Louis Park.
St. Louis Park. He's kind of climbed through the ranks. I think he's very, very comfortable behind the Edina bench. Edina's got their work cut out for him. Some great players on the Jefferson side gonna be Court Lundin, Brian LaFleur, and Mike Crowley. Some very, very good skaters, and Court Lundin can finish any play.
Well, for you players, just like tryouts, here we go. Watch Casey Hankinson. He'll be exciting for the Hornets. He's bumped out of there by Crowley as LaFleur falls. Hankinson will wrap it around. No, he'll look up high. He tries to set a pass through. That's knocked away there by Lundin. LaFleur. This is what makes hockey such an intriguing sport, Bart, when you can open up the ice and go 3-on-3 in these type situations.
Yeah, it's like taking your shortstop out in baseball.
Base hits up the middle everywhere. Crowley has it, unless you're Jose Lean, except for that one World Series muff. Comes back up on the near side. Crowley bumped out of the play. A glove flies on Fricky, and here comes Bastion back. 3-on-2 for the Hornets. Crowley catching up. Bastion shoots, that one deflected right off the base drum. Oh, what a big grab. I thought the man in the red had that back there, Bart, but that one looks like it got over his hand.
Was that Jose Lean? No, it must not have been.
In the World Series.
Bastion might have pulled the trigger a tad bit early, but I think it's very important that he's conscious of at least getting some shots. Good deflection by, I believe, Court Lundin or Brian LaFleur. but at least Edina's conscious of getting some shots on goal. They have to generate some offense, Pete Wagner. Brennan Polk going to take the draw against Joe Bianchi.
You know, you mentioned Rob Little a little bit earlier, Bart, and I do have to say I had the pleasure of having him as a goaltender coach. I don't mean to date him.
It wasn't his
Back
fault.
in the 70s when he was a Bulldog, I think he was with UMD, but he was working. It wasn't his fault. Thanks a lot. Those were back in the days when he was with Warren Strelo, and that's one of the greatest schools. Those are still around, and you young goaltenders. I swear by that camp, and they do a great job, and it's a great goaltending
Well, isn't
system.
Warren Strelo in the Washington Capital system, Pete Wagner?
Right now, I believe
New
he's
Jersey
with the Devils. You
Devils?
got it. He's been with the Devils, the Capitals, and also the Winnipeg Jets. Bob Essenza, the former Michigan State Spartan, has really benefited from him, along with Rick Tabaracci. But we're underway. We could talk goaltending all day long.
No.
Let's play back over on the near side. I could. To Bianchi across
You
the
do.
checkered line. Find it very exciting. Bianchi lets a shot go, and I'm a boring guy. Saved
No,
by
you're
Watson.
not.
He'll play it back out. Here comes Pote with wheels. He'll try and chase down the puck as LaFleur is watching. LaFleur wisely pulls up to let that one cross the ice, and we'll bring it back down into the Edina zone to face off. 26 seconds of 3-on-3, and then 2 more minutes of 4-on-4.
Well, Pete, I think one reason why Brian LaFleur checked up was if Brian Pote won that race to that puck before that red line, he would have a good angle to take Pote out of the play and perhaps strip him of the puck. Good heady play by Brian LaFleur. Good hustle by Brendan Pote. Boy, he almost got that one, Pete Wagner. Face off in the Edina zone.
McDonald takes the draw, pulls it back for Crowley. Crowley walks back over on the far side. Here's a shot in toward the net as McDonald backhands that one off the stick of Watson. Here come the Hornets. Casey Hankinson, Bastion on the far side. He sends a pass over for Bastion. 11 seconds of 3-on-3. Lowell will have it. He'll walk in the slot. Lowell shoots. Save! Keppel! Oh, my! Hankinson was there, gets a little shot as Keppel's own man bumps him into him. And a faceoff will come up to his left.
Well, Pete Wagner, I don't think John Lowell's going to get another shot like that in this game. He put it on net. It was a good shot. Randy Keppel came up big. Little shot after the whistle. That's something Jefferson Jaguars are going to have to stop doing, Pete Wagner. They're going to have to stop the taunting, the finger pointing, and the slashing after the whistle. That's not their style. But there you see, Randy Keppel does a good job. Casey Hankinson pushed on by Crowley and McDonald and received a shot for his efforts.
There's a shot that hits Keppel or traffic, and here come the Jaguars. Ooh, and a big hit in the Jaguar zone. Bastion has it, Enrico is there. As the Hornets play it in deep. 4-on-4 hockey for another minute 46 to go. As it comes up on the near side, it's sent in deep.
Well, Peter, Mark Parrish was the recipient of that Rick Enrico check. Those are the kind of checks where you kind of hold your breath, where it gets into the knee area. And Mark Parrish hobbled off the ice under his own power, which is a good sign. We'll keep an eye on his condition as the game progresses. But Pete, we're 4-on-4 right now for another minute and 41 seconds. He's going to be attended to by the personnel of the Jefferson Jaguars.
Bart,
something you don't like to see.
Bart, I'm sure you've been caught with a couple of those in your playing career. Can you tell us what that feels like, especially in the high thigh area?
Well, it depends upon which angle it actually comes to the knee, whether it's a hyperextension or just a twist. A hyperextension, you know, a twist sometimes can be worked out, but a hyperextension, boy, that thing will stay with them for a little while.
There's a check as Lowell goes down low, a la Kurt Childs. Bianchi has it, plays it back as it comes up high to Corey Peterson. Peterson in deep for the Jaguars, still 4-on-4 for another minute 25. Lundeen up high, Dusty Anderson. A rink wide for Peterson. He'll walk to the top of the circle. Oh, that was a cannon just wide. Puck was on end. There you see Bianchi check that. I think that was
I think that might be Court Lundeen.
On the far side, trying to get the stick.
Yeah, that was Court Lundeen. Having some problems. Might want to make that knob on the end of it just a little bit bigger.
Bart, is the key using the sticky black tape or the white tape?
I don't think it really matters. I think it's just really getting a good grab on it. But getting back to that Mark Parrish, boy, you really have to feel sorry for Mark Parrish if he does not come back out for the remainder of this game. This is a game that I'm sure that all the players really look forward to, and nobody wants to miss it because of an injury.
By the way, Bart, that's Mark, no relation to former catching great Lance Parrish. On the near side, LaFleur. I've been waiting to do that one all year. Thought I'd pull it out of the bag for the season finale on BEC. Here's Checo to the outside. Ooh, nice move. In, go on goal. Save. Watson tries to bat it free as the Hornets play back in the corner. Checo with a nifty move on the far side there as McDonald bangs on the near boards. Hornets will play it back to safety as back they come with Binner. He tries to get by LaFleur, but Crowley takes over across the checkered line. He's bumped, but continues to move. He'll let a shot go that hits traffic, and McDonald chases it down. There's Fricky to pin him up against the end boards. Badgett is there for the Hornets. 30 seconds to go of 4-on-4 hockey. His pass is too far. That'll be in on goal as Keppel makes the save. He'll pass it up on the far side for McDonald. And here's LaFleur taking over. Brian LaFleur checked momentarily but controls. LaFleur brings it back up on the near side, looks in. Ooh, he's bumped off the puck neatly. And here come the Hornets with Neil Johnson. His pass is batted down by McDonald as he plays it off the boards. Whoa! Check thrown there on Lowell as he's nearly set into his Jaguars bench. We're at 5-on-5 now as both those minors have now expired. Here comes Jones. In on goal, shoots, save, Watson rebound. Puck's played free momentarily as Salmon plays it, but it's controlled there by Pote. Played back out through the neutral zone. Johnson chases. There's Corey Peterson off the far boards. Pote has it for the Hornets. Pote takes it up high. He's pickpocketed at the line, and it comes back in the Jaguars, or the Edina zone, if you will, and it's controlled by Salmon. Played back up on the far side. Pote will walk it back along the goal line. Pote plays it back for Bastion. Nick Bastion for the Hornets. Swing and a miss as it comes back to the line and out. It's sent back in. Watson sets up. And there's Lowell to take over. Lundin is there. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Comes up high. Corey Peterson shoots. That one waffled over the net by Watson, and Dusty Anderson has it. Here's a shot that's stopped by D. St. Hubert. Oh, he hit the post. And Watson covers that up. And the faceoff will come up to his left.
Well, it'll be a nice decision by Matt Watson to cover that puck. I think the defensive unit of the Edina Hornets was getting a little tired. They've been on the ice for quite a while. 10 minutes to go in the second period. Jaguars 4, Edina 1. Looks like the Jaguars are starting to take control of the blue lines, P. Wagner. They're stacking them up in their own zone, and they're penetrating into the Edina zone. Edina's got to get a little more physical at the blue line and try to stop that play before it starts. And the key to that is the forwards coming back and helping out once the defense commit at the blue line. Edina's got to toughen up at their own blue line. They're letting Jefferson come in and get some shots on Matt Watson.
Off the draw, Jeff Salmon plays it back. There's McDonald, Checo. We're under 10 minutes to go in the second period with the Jags leading 4-1. Corey Peterson up high. Matt Jones plays it back into the corner. Kevin Fricky plays it up on the near side. It's cleared but not out. Stick save by Watson. McDonald beats Salmon to the puck once again. It's been a kind of a commonplace here in the Jaguar zone, the Edina zone through the whole first period and pretty much the second period as it comes up on the near side. Enrico sidesteps the check. Oh, and Corey Peterson lays the leather. Comes back up as Enrico sends it back. Corey Peterson back over for Dusty Anderson. He'll be watched closely there by Keith Anderson with a big check. Comes up to Jones as he'll walk it out of his own zone. Matt Jones for the Jaguars across the checkered line. Checo takes Hankinson out of the play neatly. Nice little pick there as it comes back to Enrico on the far side. He and Corey Peterson converge. Peterson plays it back into the neutral zone. Intentional. As Skoglund has it. Skoglund pickpocketed by Anderson. His pass is stopped by Anderson. Here's Hankinson, pulls it back. His shot is blocked, and Anderson plays it back. Checo with a possible break. Lowell will chase him, and Watson plays it back out of the zone in the neutral zone. Skoglund will regroup for the Jaguars and set it in. And they'll have to send it down the length of the ice as an intentional offside is called on the Jaguars. Or Archer, I thought you had to give Checo the opportunity to touch up, but I guess not.
Well, P. Wagner, I think it was more that a defenseman's decision to dump it in instead of holding on to it. He forced the play a little bit. Not really too much to worry about as long as you win the faceoff. Jefferson getting out of their zone with relative comfort. Edina not putting too much pressure on, but Edina showing some signs of life, P. Wagner. They're getting up and down the ice, and they're making some plays, and I think that they have to get something going right here. Down by 3, 8:44 left in the second period. Now's the time to start turning it up.
Shots on goal read 20-8 in favor of the Jaguars. Steve Salmon pulls it back for the Hornets. Luke Murray takes over. Ian Peterson for Skoglund. Skoglund, Peterson, quick shot, stick save. Watson, Peterson, quick release. Back up high, LaFleur shoots. That deflected wide. Karam's back up for Garvin. He'll play it off the boards, but the Hornets take over as Salmon plays it, controlled by LaFleur. Rink wide for Crowley. Off the near boards. Lowell has it. Bumped by Skoglund in deep. Crowley wraps it up and around for Murray. Ian Peterson neatly to the stick. He'll be watched there by Garvin. He's had a strong game, Mike Garvin, as it's played at the line and out, and LaFleur will regroup back over for Crowley. Near side, Jags touch up, Crowley will carry it in. Crowley gets by one man. Crowley wraps it around, looks for the stuff attempt. There's Watson to cover, And the Jaguars, Murray looking for the rebound, but Bart, if you look at Mike Crowley, what that young man does is so impressive. He gets by one man, then after another, and gets the puck in deep. Rarely is he stripped of the puck.
Well, no question about it. He's one of those players that makes everybody better around him just because of his aggressive offensive play. He draws in the defenders, and he's crafty enough to get through those and create a lot of openings for everybody else to get some shots on goal. Mike Crowley, second to none in the defensive category in the Lake Conference, and I'd venture to say the metro area. He makes so many things happen, so many positives, and everybody else in this Jefferson squad is a beneficiary of his efforts, no question about it.
Bart, what I like about Mike Crowley is the fact that he's not afraid to take a chance with the puck. He has confidence in his ability. He never panics with the puck, and he lets it take care of itself.
Well, Pete, I think sometimes he might get a little too aggressive, might get a little too involved in the offensive play, but when you're a team with Brian LaFleur, you can afford to take some perhaps extra chances, and Jefferson forwards always conscious of playing the defensive game. Matt Watson perhaps taking a rest, perhaps an equipment adjustment, but Pete, he's got to feel like one of the carnival people in the dunk tank. Really, your only defense is the lack of accuracy by the shooters, whether you're going to get wet or not. But too many snipers on this Jefferson Jaguar team for him to feel comfortable. I'm sure he feels pretty barraged right now. 23 shots in just over a period and a half.
Well, Bart, I'll tell you what, that dunk tank has been hit on the target 4 times, so he's been able to wash the hair a few times, and it comes back on the far side with Pote. Brendan Pote leaves off for Neil Johnson. He tries to get around Corey Peterson, but Bianchi's in deep to take over for the Jaguars. Salmon shoots, that deflects wide. There's Johnson again. D. St. Hubert takes over for the Jags. He'll give off for Bianchi as he crosses the checkered line, looks to get around Jeff Salmon as the puck is poked at the line, but D. St. Hubert rips a shot wide as it comes back up on the near side. Here come the Hornets with Tom Moe as he's ridden along the boards. You hear the collision right there. A microphone might have taken a little bit too. It's on the near side, Lundeen. Yes, D. St. Hubert wide. His shot is deflected, batted down neatly by Fricky.
Good play by Fricky.
Indeed it is. Bart Archer, he's had a solid game back on the blue line for the Hornets as well. Puck comes up on the near side. It's at the line and out as it's played to safety. Here comes Tom O. He has Pote on the far side. Pote plays it back, but there's Keppel to play the puck. Penalty coming up on the Jaguars as Brendan Pote, Bart, with breakaway speed, shows what that can cause as far as problems.
Well, no question about it, Pete. You said he might be kind of a wild card factor in this game, and already he has an assist, and he's made some things happen in the offensive zone. Very, very deceptive speed, plus he can move pretty well side to side. Corey Peterson going to be in the box. We're going to see an Edina power play, Pete. They've only got 3 shots so far in the first 8.5 minutes of this second period. This is a chance for him to get that offensive rhythm. If they can punch one in now, we got a hockey game.
But hey, Bart, you know what? They get one more. They've tied Roosevelt, and they've also tied Kennedy as far as totals for games, and they're only in the second period.
As far as shots? Or?
You got it.
Okay.
So Randy Keppel might be sweating this evening.
Well, I don't think he's sweated too much up to this point. He's made 2 spectacular saves on some great Edina chances, and I think that kind of took a little of the air out of the Edina bubble at this point, so he's done a good job so far. Face-off in the Jefferson zone. Edina's got to win these face-offs. They have to control the puck. Now that they have it in the Jefferson zone, they have to set up and establish and get some shots on goal.
The face-off will come up to the left of Keppel as the puck is poked wide as Crowley will play it out. He'll be bothered, but gets it up one-handed to Jones neatly. Jones works to the outside as he's working on Jeff Salmon. Good positioning there by the Hornets as they look to play it up. Jeff Salmon, now Steve Salmon for the Hornets will wrap it up on the power play. On the far side for Garvin. Garvin has Binner as well. He tries to play it free. His brother, of course, Chris Garvin of the '88 state championship team, was such a key player on that roster. Puck hits traffic and Steve Salmon controls it along the line. Here's a shot. Binner over the top of the goal. Nearly hit Crowley with it as well. As they fall on the puck, and the faceoff will be coming up inside the Jaguar zone.
Well, P. Wagner, Edina penetrated in deep. Once they get a shot in the shooting area, they have to make it count. That one was, I believe, deflected wide. Faceoff in the Jefferson zone. Some pretty good pressure by Edina, but they still haven't got a good shot on goal. They need to get more scoring opportunities on this power play. Corey Peterson's penalty runs for another minute and 16 seconds. Faceoffs become very important for Edina. They have to control the puck, especially when they have the man advantage. They have the Enrico line on with Brendan Pote. Fricky up front, which I think he might crash the net, but faceoff's very important. Rick Enrico, the guy you want to have in there.
The draw is won by Enrico. Good call, Bart Archer. Hankinson plays it back. Casey Hankinson with 46 points this year, Bart. Only a junior, lots to look forward to for Bart Larson next year with that young man. Great attitude, great hockey player, as his brother Ben and Pete, both of heart and souls of their clubs in 86 and 87.
And he plays quite a third base for the Edina baseball team as well.
What's new with the Hankinson boys?
Jeez.
It comes back up on the far side. As that hits traffic, Bianchi has it high in the slot. He'll rag some time off the clock as he plays it back to Anderson. Over for Crowley. Back over for Dusty Anderson. Finds an opening and sends it in. Watson will set up. Hankinson being watched by Lundeen. He tries to get by him. Court Lundeen, what a forecheck. Lundeen fishes the puck free, sets it through. Ooh, Hankinson gets a stick on that. He'll play up on the far side for Keith Anderson. He has Fricky in the slot. He'll be bumped off the puck by Anderson, but there's Fricky to take the body. Pote's there to help out. Pote tries to play it free as he gets it off the back of the goal. Fricky plays it back out front. Hankinson one time. That hits traffic. Pote's there. Oh, and he's checked off the puck. Here come the Jaguars. 3-on-1. They're shorthanded. Crowley on the right side. Crowley has Bianchi. Fakes the shot and said Bianchi. Oh, what a save by Watson. As that one was behind Joe Bianchi, he saw a red line all the way. But Matt Watson denied him there and made a fine save, and a faceoff will come up to his left.
Well, Pete Wagner, that play should never have actually happened. Mike Crowley kind of fluttered with the puck a bit in the zone. If the back checking had been perhaps a little more effective, that pass would have never taken place. Good job by Matt Watson to keep that puck out of the zone. We're playing 5-on-5 now, Pete Wagner. Just under 5 minutes, 4:54 left in the second period. Jaguars still up by 1.
Okay, Bart, it's been 10 minutes since a goal has been put in the net on either end of the rink. Your opinion on that as far as where the positives lie? Would that be in favor of the Hornets or the Jaguars?
Well, I think the Hornets, actually, I think the Jaguars would settle for winning this game 4-1. They're playing a very good defensive brand. They're going to, offensively, they're going to take what they're going to get. But time is of the essence for Edina. They have to get on the board. They have to make some things happen. Some positives have to happen, and they just aren't happening at this point. They're getting more shots, but just not quality shots.
Ian Peterson sends a bomb rink wide for Murray, but there's Bastian to knock the puck away. Murray bumps him off the puck. As Ian Peterson tries to kick it free, Bastian looks to play it up. He'll pass off as Benner has it. Peterson over for Murray. Luke Murray on the far side, up high on the circle. Plays it back in the corner. His pass hits a pair of skates. I believe that's Lowell. As the puck comes up and backed off the boards. Ian Peterson, rink wide for Corey Peterson. He'll cross the checkered and rip it in. That hits Garvin as Bastian takes over for the Hornets. He'll head man, and it's controlled by Benner. He'll try and clear into the Jaguar zone, but there's Corey Peterson to control. His pass is banked off the boards too far for McDonald. Lowell plays it to safety. There's Checo. He'll play it back up high. Jones lets a shot go. That's saved by Watson. And the faceoff will come up to his left. Part of press box sources say that Nick Checo was bloodied after he came off the bench after that minor he had in the first period. We'll have to check into that and see if that was the case.
Well, I think that's a good call, Pete. I think it all transpired from when the tripping penalty when he was taking on, I believe it was Keith Anderson, and perhaps just his helmet rubbed against the skin the wrong way. But he's back out there, and that's good news for the Jefferson Jaguars.
Off the draw, it will be Neil Johnson for Edina and Bianchi, who had that great scoring opportunity for the Jaguars.
Pete, I think the Edina defense are getting a little bit tired. They have enough energy to make the play, but they aren't moving their feet like they should be. They aren't following the play like they should be. They're putting too much responsibility on other people. They're going to have to get a little bit more active in their own zone.
You're seeing a lot of sticks on the knees as they come off the ice, especially with the defensive core only playing 4D. That is not really the Edina tradition, Bart. In the past, it had always been 6D up and down.
Well, no question about it. I think the sense of urgency to get something happening has forced Coach Bart Larson to shorten his bench just a little bit, and it might be nice to give these guys a little bit of break. 3:30 left in the second period. Perhaps a little intermission between the second and third will be just what the doctor ordered for the Edina Hornets.
Tom Moe lost his stick. Crowley has it up high, sends a pass on the left side for Lundeen, too far. He'll carry it off the boards. There's Pote, tries to play it, but D. St. Hubert outmuscles him, and it's played up back into the neutral zone. Moe with no stick, and the Jaguars get a freebie. Here they come on the far side. Look at LaFleur, gets through one man. Doug Woog, are you happy? It comes back as he nearly wraps that one around. Lundeen sticks it over neatly. Crowley one time shot, pass if you will, as D. St. Hubert hits traffic, and Bianchi controls for the Jaguars. Up high, LaFleur, Crowley, Lundeen walks in deep. In the circle, Court Lundeen lets a shot go that's sticked out of there by Watson, and Pote again with that breakaway speed takes it. He has Mo catching up. Pote will shoot. Save by Keppel. Brendan Pote with a nice opportunity for the Hornets to notch their 10th shot here, Bart, in the second period with 2:39 to go.
Well, Peter, the deceptive speed, what we were talking about is you get a look at Kevin Fricke. Fricke's done a yeoman-like effort tonight. He's played very, very well, but Brendan Pote, no question about it. Him and Rick Enrico have pretty much put most of the pressure on. They've probably got about 4 or 5 of the 9 Edina shots. Good effort once again by Brendan Pote.
Ooh, that one is ripped just wide, or might have been off the glove of Keppel as it comes back to the neutral zone. Enrico has it for the Hornets. Casey Hankinson in the transition will chase this one down. Here's Corey Peterson controlling for the Jaguars. Off the near boards, Tim McDonald, now Checo. Checo pickpocketed there by Lowell. Jumps over him. Oh my, big league play there. Lowell drilled against the boards by Checo as Jones plays it back up higher. It's a shot, stick save. Watson saw that one all the way. Bastian hits Enrico, who tries to stick over for Hankinson, but Corey Peterson is there. That puck is batted down, and Watson will stick back in the corner for Lowell. Lowell banks it off the end boards, controlled by Jones. His pass picked off by Keith Anderson in the skates, but it's controlled by Enrico. He'll try and play it free. There's Anderson to chase it down. Keith Anderson plays it back through. That hits Dusty Anderson, and Hankinson takes over for the Hornets. Tries to play it in, but he's bothered on the near boards as it comes back through with the Jaguars' Jones. Jones 1-on-2, Fricke watching him. Jones puts on the brakes up high. He'll hit McDonald moving, and it's controlled by the Hornets. Hankinson clearing the zone, controlled by Corey Peterson. Nick Checo had it at the line, and he'll play it to safety. Gets by one man. Go! Nearly went inside out. Still fishes for the puck. It's sticked to underneath one man. That might be a hand pass. It should be, and it is. We'll take it outside of the zone. Nick Checo with really nowhere to go but to get that hand pass part as they're on top of the puck faceoff coming up outside the zone.
Well, there you saw an example of just why Nick Checo is so special to this team. He strikes fear into the defenders of the other team as you get a good look at some of the fans here. This place is really filled up. We have the whole lower section filled, and pretty much most of the upper section. We've seen some pretty good hockey. We're going to get a look at this one on replay. Nick Checo doing a great job, back and forth, little misdirection. Edina at least toughening up in front of their goaltender, Matt Watson, really preventing him from getting a good quality shot on goal.
1:22 to go. Bart 4-1 in favor of the Jaguars. Winner of this one moves on to the state tournament in St. Paul. As the tradition continues in Minnesota State High School hockey, Steve Salmon has it. Mike Garvin will walk and shoot, stick save, rebound. Garvin, his own rebound. Couldn't pull the trigger. Fricke was there. It's played back into the neutral zone. Kevin Fricke on the backhand. Knocked down by LaFleur. D. St. Hubert has it. Here's Lundeen, 1-on-2 with Crowley breaking. 1 minute remaining in the second period as the Hornets will bring it back with Mike Garvin on the right side. He'll wind and shoot. He scores! Oh, my! Mike Garvin pulls the Hornets within 2. That was really play that he could have made at that point. Mike Garvin in all alone. Big glass and loose. Brandon Keppel pulls him within 2. 50.7 seconds left in the second period. Down to Hornets within 2 now, P. Wagner. Well, Bart Archer, last time the Hornets scored at the end of the first period, Jaguars responded right back. There's a look at the replay, Bart. Yeah, no question, their job is not finished at this point. They have to finish this period strong, but definitely a positive for the Edina Hornets. That gives them a little bit of momentum right now. The thing is, they have to keep Jefferson out of the board to close out the second period. It's a 2-goal game, Pete Wagner. Edina is now back into it. Perhaps we'll see a little bit more spring in the step of the Edina Hornets. Bart, both goals have been 5 holes on Randy Keppel as they've been pretty nice shots by the Hornets. That one up high from Mike Garvin. And the key is that they've stopped the bleeding from the Jaguars. It'll be interesting to see how they respond off this draw, because throughout our whole season broadcasting, they always respond in impressive fashion. Here they are, Jones over the top of the goal. Boy, you almost made me look good on that one, Matt Jones. Comes back through the neutral. Here's Anderson looking for Enrico, sends it in deep. You can't notice a hop in the Hornets step at about the 7-minute mark here of this period. Well, Pete Wagner, they've worked so very hard playing against this Jefferson Jaguar team that it's nice to be rewarded for their hard work. And it makes it a little bit easier to get that spring in the step, a little more energy when you get a positive like a goal in the closing moments of a period. Something we don't normally see is Jefferson giving up goals in the closing moments of a period. Normally they're tighter than that, but Edina earned that goal
a shot just eluded Randy Keppel. And we're within 2 feet, Wagner. We have a hockey game going here.
Out front, Enrico shoots. Oh, that one blocked by Anderson. Casey Hankinson shaking up on the play. We'll watch him as he gets off the ice. That one is batted to safety as Bastion will try to take over for the Hornets. He'll take Jones out of the play. And here come the Hornets with Lowell on the near side. Lowell at the checkered line with Enrico. He'll skate. We're down to 4 seconds to go in the period. That'll pretty much do it for the second period. Big check on the far side. And that ends the second period as the Hornets tally in the closing minute from Mike Garvin to take a 4-2 deficit into the locker room, and the Jaguars lead at 4-2. Bart Archer, it should be a good third period.
Well, no question about it. Usually the second period is Jefferson's period. That's when they pretty much get over the hump and break the spirit of their competition, but not this period. Edina with limited shots on goal made one count and pulled them within 2.
Bart Archer, we're going to take a quick break and we'll bring it back right here at the Met Center. Section 5 championship action featuring the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the Edina Hornets. We'll have an interview coming up with you. We're going to get a little bit different point of view as far as the pressures of these type of hockey games. We have household hockey name to Minnesota State High School hockey, and it begins with a C and ends in an L. Bart, that would be Carroll. This time we're going to be talking to Jim Carroll, who's going to be officiating the Section 6 final.
Well, you don't want to miss this one. Of course, the Carroll name definitely ingrained in the tradition of Edina hockey. Should be a good one. You don't want to miss this one, so stick around. We got a lot of hockey to go, and we have a good interview between periods.
We'll be back right after this. You're watching BEC-TV, the station of champions.
Excuse me, do you wear your safety belt?
Why, no, I don't wear my safety belt.
Thank you.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
We're back once again at the Met Center. We're talking between periods, the second and third period of the Section 5 championship game. Joining us now is Jim Carroll. And Jim, you're synonymous with high school hockey. You've been involved with it pretty much of your lifetime at all levels, and now you're in the officiating realm. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes into the preparation from your side of it as far as hitting the ice?
Well, as far as from a mental standpoint, you just basically got to know what level you're officiating at this current time. I do some amateur, I do some collegiate, I also do high school, and there is a different, there is a variety of rules that you know change. You got the hand passes, you got, well, there's some other rules that go along with it, but you just got to know what level you're doing and work with the kids. You don't want to call a bantam game at the high school level, and that same goes for a collegiate game at the high school level. It's all, in a sense, paraphrasing, basically it is knowing the level you're doing and letting the kids play as they wish.
Jim, I had a discussion out at the semifinals between the Edina Hornets, etc., when they were playing against Blake, and one gentleman said he was a basketball official, and he was claiming how hockey is the worst officiated game on all levels. Do you agree with that?
To a point, I do, and I do agree with that, because in hockey, the fouls and/or offenses are not so cut and dry as they are in basketball. You know, you have the charge, you have the hack as a guy goes up for the basket,
or a scratch.
Yeah, scratch as you will. But in hockey, there's so much opinion that goes into what to get, what to take, what not to take, what's a good penalty with 2 minutes left. And yeah, I would have to tend to agree that hockey is one of the tougher sports to officiate.
Do you see everything on the ice, or is it true that you do miss things?
There's absolutely no way you can see things on this. If you give an honest effort, you'll see the things that are blatant out there. But I think what the two-man, when one linesman system has opened up is you got two guys calling two different types of styles, trying to cohese, but also trying to see as much as they can on the ice. You also have the linesman who can see things behind the play. So as they work with three, I think the ice is covered pretty well.
Okay, tell me about how much of the lip you'll take out there. What kind of things are said, and you know, when do you give them the misconducts, those type of things? Is that a problem in the high school hockey league?
Well, it is, and I think once it gets to the barrier where either the crowd hears it, the coaches hear it, or it becomes a nuisance where you might want to teach a kid a lesson. But I think the kids, especially in the Lake Conference, are disciplined enough where they know the officials. They have them time and time again. They know what they can get away with. But I think one of the key issues is the swearing. That's one thing that's got to get away from the hockey. I understand it when you get the frustrations and that comes from it. But you're swearing possibly at yourself. But once it gets to the point where you're directing it to an official or to a coach or an opponent, that's where I think you got to draw the line.
If there was one rule that Jim Carroll could rewrite in the hockey rule book, what would it be?
The one rule, I would say taking away, I would also instigate the new college face-off system where you have encroachment once any opponent comes into the circles. That would alleviate the time that you spent at the face-offs. The other rule I'd take away as far as in the amateur level would be the hand pass in the neutral zone. I think too many people abuse that rule, trying to get the whistle when you need a whistle, and I think basically those would be the two. I think the face-off would have to be changed for high school, and I think it's going to be done so.
Okay, we're going to put you kind of on the line here, Jim. You've played on in Edina Hockey Club. You're a Co-Metro Player of the Year, a 50-pointer, 54 points to be exact. Rick Enrico is coming up to that now, I believe, with 51 after tonight's action. It looks like if he has a great third period, you still might have that title for a while. But this is a very good Bloomington Jefferson hockey team, and many people called your club the best club Willard Eichel ever had. Would this club match up with that club very well? Where are they as far as they even out?
I think it does even up. We had probably 8 to 9 Division I players on our team. Unfortunately, the 85 and 86 campaigns were the only two times that the Hornets didn't go to the state tournament in the 80s, I believe. And I was on a member of both those teams. So I don't know if you could call 86 the year of the choke, but as far as soccer was concerned, it's the same thing. But I think they definitely do match up. They got the juniors they play so well together, and I think the biggest key is you don't see a Bloomington Jefferson standout on top of the scoring column because they're so well-rounded. And Tommy Satterdahl doesn't, to be honest with you, I don't think he cares who scores, just as long as it's a spread-out team. And you won't see a guy in the Jefferson organization leading the team in scoring, or not necessarily the team, but in the state, because they're so diverse, and they don't look to one player each night to go after that goal.
Is the state title a no-brainer? Who do you like?
Well, after this third period, it's tough to tell. I like the winner of this section coming out and being victorious. I think if Edina puts some pressure on, I think this is the biggest thing that Jefferson needs is a tough opponent. I think Edina's providing that. So I think if they can get over this hurdle, I think it's full steam ahead.
4-2 is your score as we're talking to Jim Carroll. Thanks a lot for stopping up. Got to get the pads on, put the stripes on, and go with the CCM. We'll be looking forward to seeing you call that Park Center hockey.
Yes, you guys do a great job.
Thank you much, Jim. We'll head down to the ice, get ready to start period number 3 for you as the Edina Hornets trail the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars by a score of 4-2. Take a look at a quick highlight package. That last goal scored by Mike Garvin as he tallies. There's a wraparound attempt. Actually, a big save by Matt Jones first as he makes a save to snuff out and keep things going. And again, we'll see some more action as Jones comes up with that save from another angle. Cortland Dean was there to try to put it away. That's been pretty much the story for the Jaguars. Nice move by Nick Checo as he tried to go inside out. And the Hornets, Salmon and Fricky were there to make the play. And they make sure Nick Checo is going to pay for that inside out move. And finally, we'll see the goal tallied by Mike Garvin-Vard as he crosses the line.
Well, Pete, the only thing that he really could have done in that situation was shoot. His line mate perhaps could have got the rebound if Keppel made the save, but he beat him clean. And that was a very, very big goal. And going into this third period only down by 2, Pete, they're not in too bad of a situation right now, but they have to keep in mind that they still are playing kind of a high-risk offensive game, but they can't neglect their defensive duties against this Jefferson team.
If you watch, they've got almost the triple zone defense going in the neutral zone with 4 across. I'm sure if we get to one more goal, you'll see the Jaguars open it up a little bit more, but this should be an exciting third period. As Jim said, the close game that the Jaguars might need could be this. Should they come out of this one victorious, which would really help them in the pressure situations of the state tournament, but again, it's not like they haven't been there before. Off the draw, it's played back in the neutral zone as LaFleur will control. This will be the last period for some seniors here on this one. Section 5 championship game from the Met Center. Great to have you aboard, along with Bart Archer. I'm Pete Wagner as the puck is controlled by the Hornets in the Jaguar zone. Here come the Jaguars. Tim McDonald, solid performer all year long to the outside. Whoa, he's tugged back off the puck. Jaguar penalties want the hook, but they're not going to get it. Puck is fought for in the corner as Timmy McDonald plays it back for the Jaguars. He's watched closely. The Hornets trying to play it back out to safety. Here's LaFleur. He'll send a pass in. Checo whacking on goal. Watts makes the save as it comes up on the near side. It's banked off the boards. And here come the Hornets back to the neutral zone. Keith Anderson One-on-one. Keith Anderson with Crowley. Crowley pokes that one to the corner. Puck comes out front. Keppel will wisely cover that one up, Bart. That was a scare there for the Jaguars.
Well, no question about it. Some good pressure by the Edina Hornets at this point. Edina definitely, Pete, no question about it. They have better purpose out there. They have better focus, and they seem to have that spring in the step that they so desperately need. Randy Keppel, although only facing 12 shots and letting in 2 goals, he's made some pretty key saves for this Jefferson hockey team. Otherwise, this might be a tie game at this point.
The shots read 29-12. Keppel's been forced to stretch the pads on many occasions, Bart, and when you're not getting worked as much as you'd like to in a hockey game, those saves become tougher and tougher, but I'm sure he's mentally
especially
ready.
The ones in the lower body where he's got to make the kickouts and such.
And with being the bigger man, that's a base hit up the middle there for Lowell as Anderson in center field makes the catch. Boy, am I ready for baseball. D. St. Hubert across the line. Here's Bianchi. Lets a shot go. It's sticked in the corner by Watson. Pote controls. No relation to Sylvain Pote. That of the Hartford Whalers. Or check that. That's the Washington Capitals now as he's been bounced around. Oh, that's right. Bastion.
He doesn't have a stick.
Will try and play it free as Johnson was there, but Corey Peterson has it. Has a shot go. Oh! That one deflected just wide as Lundin has it.
They need a whistle.
Indeed they do, with one man without a stick. That's like being short. Bastions without it. Comes back through the slot, and here come the Hornets. We're 5-on-5. Comes back through the neutral zone. Corey Peterson is there. Knocks down number 21, Neil Johnson. As D. St. Hubert has it, Bianchi breaks for the net. Shot by Lundin is ripped wide. That puck comes out front, dangerous in the crease, as there's Bianchi. Good hands back over for D. St. Hubert. D. St. Hubert, Lundin, Bianchi. Ooh, he's mugged in the slot. Tom Moe was there. There's a shot that's wide. Fans want a penalty, no call, as LaFleur will play it back in. The Hornets will play it back to the line. LaFleur flips a pass that's wide as John Lowell will chase this one down. Lowell headmans for Randy Binner. Binner dumps it in deep. Keppel will set up. That one skitters free. And here's Luke Murray. Garvin was there. Ian Peterson has it. Peterson looking for Skoglund. Skoglund finds himself offside. 12:32 to go. Jaguars lead by 2, 4-2.
Well, P. Wagner, I think one thing that should be addressed at this point of the game is Jefferson's depth, I think, will play a major factor in this third period. They have that steady and constant line change, and everybody gets their rest and gets their ice time. Edina, on the other hand, you know, you can only run on emotion for so long, and the emotion, I think, is worn off from the Garvin goal. And I think that I'm going to be looking for some signs of fatigue about the 8-minute mark of this third period and whether they can sustain some pretty good pressure.
Salmon was just belted. Jeff Salmon on the end boards. Skoglund really drove him into the glass there as it looked like the side of his helmet hit the glass, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. He's just a bit shaken. I think that the Jefferson Jaguars are a little underrated for as physical as their forwards can play. Guys like Court Lundin and Timmy McDonald and players of that caliber. Really, I think they're a little underrated. They can take the body very well and very effectively, as I'm sure that Jeff Salmon will attest to that fact.
Well, Bart, you know, even look at the Nick Chekos. He can really throw the leather as well. Up and down the Jaguar roster, everybody sees the scoring in the scoring columns, but this club plays a well-rounded brand of hockey as Cheko gets the draw to himself. Casey Hankinson on the far side, looks to the outside, takes it back in, dishes off for Enrico on the backhand. Save, Keppel, puck is wide of the net as it caroms in. Up high, it's played back through on the right side. LaFleur and Enrico lock up. They'll go for the puck. Cheko is there, and it comes up, controlled by Anderson. Enrico will chase it down. Keppel plays it to safety. Here's Crowley. Clears it back out of the zone. Good forecheck for that line with it. Rick Enrico, Bart Archer, he's played himself one heck of a hockey game. I like the tenacious play in the forecheck, the never say die attitude.
Oh, no question about it. Rick Enrico probably in the same class as Nick Cheko as being the best middleman in the Lake Conference, no question, but perhaps the metro area in general. Jefferson icing the puck, 11:49 in regulation time. P. Wagner, that's something that we don't normally see. Jefferson forced to ice the puck. Good pressure on the forecheck by the Edina Hornets. Another good forechecking effort by the Edina Hornets. And Pete, they got to get back in this game. They have to put some pressure on. You know, you have to wonder about Randy Keppel, who's used to facing probably 10, 15 shots a game. He's got to be in the frame of mind where he wants to see that puck. He wants to face that puck and not be kind of back on his heels saying, you know, come on defense, I don't want to see any shots. It looks like Randy Keppel's playing pretty aggressive, and he wants to see that puck, and that's a good sign for the Jefferson Jaguars.
Well, there he saw it again. We'll have a face-off to his left with Casey Hankinson and Checo to take the draw. Hankinson and Checo. There's McDonald, Checo. Bastian in the neutral, play it back in. Hornets forced to touch up. Corey Peterson. Too far for McDonald, and it's controlled by Lowell. Rink wide for Bastian. He'll touch back up. Here's a quick pass looking for Hankinson from Enrico. Dusty Anderson is there. There's Jones. Bottled up pretty much in the neutral zone. Here's Keith Anderson. He's had himself a whale of a third period. He's bumped off the puck by Peterson, and it's played back to Jones across the checkered line. Jones, rink wide for Checo. He'll be watched by Jeff Salmon. Gets through him. Oh, he still has control. Puck comes free. Enrico will carry it out for the Hornets. Right wing pass too far, and it's controlled by Corey Peterson. Rink wide for Dusty Anderson. Hornets change on the fly as the Jaguars control with McDonald. Tim McDonald walks to the outside. He's poke checked there neatly by Jeff Salmon, and Checo will control. He'll play it back in for Jones. That's too far, and Tom Moe will be there for the Hornets. Moe plays back out with it on the far side. Here's Neil Johnson. Johnson looking to work inside on Crowley. He gets inside, going down, he shoots. That one just wide. Here's a wraparound attempt in front, Moe, and it's controlled by Crowley. Crowley up for D. St. Hubert across the checkered line. John D. St. Hubert, Jaguars forced into a tough third period by a revitalized Hornet team here on the near side. D. St. Hubert throws the leather on the near side as the puck comes back in the neutral zone. Crowley for LaFleur, back for Crowley. Across the checkered line, Mike Crowley works it in for the Jaguars. He's dangerous. Poked out of there by Watson. Pote will bank it off the boards, back in the neutral zone, controlled by LaFleur. LaFleur will play it off, and here comes Pote. Pote will take it in on his own. He'll slip it out front, nobody home. Bastian will walk and shoot. Stick save. Keppel in the corner, saw that one all the way. Crowley plays it to the line and out. That one gets by. They're going to wash that one off as a Hornet player touched it. That was Lowell. Bastian will play it back. No, they won't say that he touched it. They're going to bring it back. The penalties coming up, Bart Archer.
Indeed, there are, P. Wagner. A little plays behind the whistle, or a little action behind the play. That'll be Nick or Mikey Crowley and Tom Moe, both going to get coincidental minors at this point. I think Jim Carroll brought up a great point that Jefferson really hasn't been tested, aside from perhaps Park Center, and they responded pretty well. But this is going to be kind of a test for them. They really haven't had to play catch-up hockey, and they're not in that situation now. But they really haven't had to play a game where the outcome hasn't yet been determined in the third period. Normally in the third period they have things pretty much sewn up, but that's not the case at this point.
Bart, if you and I had statisticians, it would be interesting to know actually how many minutes. I bet you it hasn't even tallied to more than about 3 or 4 all season that the Jaguars have been behind. They've been scored on early in a lot of hockey games, but they'll come right back and tie it up. That's an interesting thing I'd like to look at sometime.
Yeah, no question about it.
4-on-4 hockey as the puck is on the near side. Randy Binner for the Hornets has bumped off the puck. There's Corey Peterson to the knees. Left wing pass for Checo out of his own zone. Nick Checo at the line. He'll be watched as the puck is stick free. Matt Jones has it now. Jones gets around Salmon. Steve Salmon on him now as it comes up high. Corey Peterson will shoot, stick save. Big rebound back in the neutral zone. Anderson back over for Corey Peterson. He'll bank it off the boards. There's Steve Salmon, Jeff Salmon now for the Hornets in his own zone. Brings it back out on the far side. Steve Salmon gets a piece of it, and Dusty Anderson will take over in his own zone. Hornets will change on the fly. They'll have to hurry. Dusty Anderson loses control, and that's much to the liking of the Hornet forecheckers as it comes back into the Edina zone. Let's see if we'll make it for a nice no as Bastian chases it down. Bastian out on the left side. Enrico now. He has Hankinson breaking. He'll leave back. Instead, it'll be played back over by Watson, flipped in the corner by Lowell. Bastian back around for Lowell. They're bottled up in their own zone. Here comes Nick Checo on the forecheck as it's played back up high. That hits Checo, controlled by the Hornets. Hankinson tries to play it over to the right side as that one is knocked at the line. Here comes LaFleur. 1-on-2. LaFleur tries to spin around at the line, but he's pickpocketed, and Enrico will play it back in the neutral zone. Casey Hankinson is there. Dusty Anderson as well. Anderson to the outside at Bastian. He slams on the brakes, plays it back. It's controlled by the Hornets off the near boards. There's Enrico for Edina. Out of his own zone, Bianchi lines him up, takes him out of the play, and it's played back in deep. Bastian controls for the Hornets. Down to 15 seconds of 4-on-4. Enrico's open up high in the neutral. That'll be picked away by Corey Peterson across the line. Peterson to the outside, gets around Lowell, wraparound attempt, shot, save, Watson. Here comes Bastian on the near side. This is a tired unit for the Hornets. They clear but not out. There's Corey Peterson playing it back in deep. We're 5 on 5. The Hornets will control, back up on the near side. It gets by everyone, no icing or call, as LaFleur will chase it down. He'll be forechecked. Tom Moe is there, hits the side of the goal. Moe looks to bring it out front, but instead he's checked off the puck by a hustling defense of the Jaguars. That gets through Salmon, and here comes Lundeen. Fricky is there. Salmon plays it back. That hits a pair of skates, and Johnson will bring it back for the Hornets. Johnson has Moe and Pote. Here's Johnson across the line, Pote to the net. Johnson takes it through a pair of skates. Keppel sticks to the corner. Pote plays it back. There's Lundeen. To Bianchi at the line. D. St. Hubert dishes off for LaFleur. LaFleur will wind and shoot. Bad save by Watson. Here come the Hornets. Hornets with the puck across the line. It's controlled once again by Skoglund. He loses, and the Hornets will play it back in. Here they come with Johnson. Pote to the outside. Johnson will shoot through traffic. Stick save by Keppel. And once again, Pote forechecks for the Hornets. Ian Peterson with it, watched by Mike Garvin. Garvin rubs him out of the play as it's played back to the neutral zone. There's Crowley across the checkered line. Mike Crowley up high to the outside. Shot, save, Watson. Here come the Hornets, back out, trailing 4-2 with 6:32 to go. Pote on the near side. He crosses the checkered, sends it in deep, stick save by Keppel. He'll play it back for Crowley as he's forechecked, and the Jaguars play it back in the neutral zone. He'll be knocked down by Binner as he waits for Garvin. Binner across the line, plays it in. Steve Salmon now plays it back toward the slot, picked away by Luke Murray. He'll head man for Skoglund across the checkered. Skoglund looks for Ian Peterson, might have been offside, but will wash it, and Bastian has it, plays it back up on the near side for Binner. Binner for the Hornets. He'll take it up on the left side, working on Dusty Anderson, and he'll pickpocket him, and they send it back in deep. Jaguars change on the fly. Bastian behind the goal for the Hornets. End-to-end action here in the third period. Checo is there. He'll control. He gets by one man. Garvin gets a hand on him, dishes off for Jones. Checo back. Tries to get by Bastian. Garvin lost his helmet. He'll have to head for the bench as it is passed over for Steve Salmon. Binner is there, but there's McDonald with some speed. McDonald shoots. Stick save by Watson in the corner. Jones controls. It's played back up high. Keith Anderson has it. He's had a fine game. Possible 2-on-1 for the Hornets. Here's Anderson. He'll shoot. Save! Keppel. Oh, my. Bart Archer, you have to be impressed with the way the Hornets haven't given up here in the second and third period and really controlling the pace of this third period.
Well, no question about it. Edina's coming out with some fire. Keith Anderson, good shot on Randy Keppel. Nice low shot. Tough one to control the rebound, but Randy Keppel did just that. He had a streaking wing on his left side. We're going to look at this one on replay. Streaking wing, there you get a look at Bart Larson. 5'26", he's a cool customer at this point. Nice job by the Jefferson forwards to come back and cover that breaking wing, but they got a good quality shot on goal. P. Wagner, they're up to 19 shots right now, 8 in this period. Definite advantage in territory for the Edina Hornets. They have to start flipping the biscuit toward the basket at this point and start trying to penetrate Randy Keppel, the final line of defense for this Jefferson Jaguars. They have to get a goal. 5:26 left in regulation time. The Jaguars up by 2. Edina pressing and putting on some great pressure.
You know, Bart, Matt Watson on the other end has made some fine saves, some tough low saves for the Hornets to keep them within this 2-goal deficit. They really don't want to go down by 3.
Well, I think that's where the emphasis on strong goaltending in the waning moments is important.
And there's a nice save by Keppel as the Hornets get a quick chance. Fricky up high. He'll shoot. That hits traffic. Oh, how did Keppel see that one? He makes the glove save, and a faceoff will come up to his left.
Well, Edina's doing a good job of controlling the offensive blue line. Fricky with a good shot, good quick release on goal. 2 Edina Hornets waiting for that rebound. Randy Keppel denies him with a big glove save. Faceoff to his left, 5:16 left in regulation.
You know, Bart, a pretty raucous facility has gone pretty quiet here in the third period as the attention is really mounting here at the Met Center with 5:15 to go. The Jaguars lead 4-2. Matt Jones has it on the near side, plays in deep. Dusty Anderson is stopped there by Anderson. Here's Enrico. Ooh, that one was in on the heel as Keppel sticks that one to the corner. Checo brings it back with Matt Jones breaking. There's Fricky to stick that one away. Checo gets away from a check and brings it up on the near side. Fricky watching him. He'll ride him along the boards as it's played back. There's Tim McDonald, though, left open along the line. McDonald plays it back. Jones in the circle. He'll wind and shoot. Oh, that one nearly deflected in.
Off the post.
And that's taken over by Anderson. He'll bring it up. That hits a pair of skates, and the Hornets control. Fricky trying to go to the outside of that. Salmon has it. Plays it back. Fricky is there. And it'll be Salmon again for the Hornets. Keith Anderson to the knees, plays it but not out. Peterson shoots. Oh, and a big glove save. That might have been wide, but nonetheless, Watson was there, Bart.
Well, no question about it. Corey Peterson, big shot. Tended to get it up a little bit higher than he normally does. Watson with a great glove save at this point. 4:23 left in the season for one of these two squads. We're going to look at this one on replay. Look at the Edina bench. A lot of talking going on, a lot of communication. No problem getting them into this game. Bart Larson shouting some instructions. That might have been a little wide, but that's got to give Watson some definite confidence in the waning moments of regulation time. They're down by 2, Pete Wagner. They're going to have to float a defenseman up into the play and keep putting pressure on.
Bastion takes the puck over and plays it back out. Here's Pote. Pote tries to play it through LaFleur as he rides him off the puck. It's controlled by Crowley. He'll head man for Lundin. Bastion is back along with Lowell. It's dropped back for D. St. Hubert. He gets by one man. Bianchi spins and fires. Adds right there for the Hornets is Neil Johnson. But it's controlled at the line out front. Oh, nice defensive play there by Bastion. Here comes Tom Moe. Moe plays it by. Here's Neil Johnson. Played back through by Crowley, controlled by Lowell. Crowley and Lowell play catch. He'll play it across a checkered and in deep as Bastion will be bothered by D. St. Hubert. D. St. Hubert rides him off the puck. D. St. Hubert walks out front, stick save by Watson. Bastion knocks D. St. Hubert down as they fight for the puck. Neil Johnson there to help out. Ooh, that comes along the line and Johnson plays it back for Garvin on the far side. Hornets clear the zone, some jostling behind the play as it's controlled by LaFleur. The Flower.
Oh my word!
And a penalty coming up on Bastion with 3:20 to go. Bart Archer, that pulled an oh my word out of you.
I just can't believe that penalty actually happened, Pete Wagner. A breakdown, a mental breakdown in the Edina Hornets zone. The stick got under the arm of Johnny D. St. Hubert. D. St. Hubert in deep trying to make things happen, and apparently he did so. But Nick Baskin is going to spend 2 minutes in the box, just 3:20 left in regulation. We're going to look at this one on replay. Brian LaFleur had to check up so D. St. Hubert could get out of the zone. Good check by Brian Pote. But the penalty was right outside the screen there. But Baskin, I'm sure Nick Baskin has to feel bad at this point about putting his team behind the 8 ball. But Edina, I mean, when you have guys like Rick Enrico and Brennan Pote and Mike Garvin and these kind of players, they can punch in a shorthanded goal. It's a tall order, I know, but 3:20 left in regulation time. Hornets down by 2, Pete. This mountain could be just a little too tall to climb at this point.
We will see what happens with that power play, Bart. We saw the Jaguars tally a shorthanded goal. They also have a power play goal to their credit in this hockey game, and this drama is not over yet here at the Met Center. As the Park Center and Osseo fans continue to file in, that'll be a good one for the Section 6. As it's played back, power play time for the Jaguars. Matt Jones. Up high, Checo. Plays back over, Lundin will shoot, save, Watson. Hankinson finds an opening and sends it in. The Hornets are going to kill this one off.
Well, I think Watson's got to be the key to this penalty kill. Really, he's going to be tested 2 or 3 times, probably very good opportunities for Jefferson. Watson's going to have to come up big.
Already mentioned the Hornets are going to kill this one off. I thought Hankinson might make the break if he had the opening as Bianchi controls. Back over for Jones. Matt Jones. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go here in the third period. 1:18 on the power play. Crowley. Back in for Bianchi. Good puck movement here. Jones will walk. That one slips just wide. Comes back up for Checo. Sets it back in for Lundin. Here's Jones up high. Crowley's dangerous. He'll shoot. Pad save. Nice save. Rebound just wide. Jones ridden off the puck by Enrico. Matt Jones. Bianchi there as well. Here's Crowley. He'll fake the shot. Waits for Jones to get back into the play. Crowley. Back over for Bianchi, in deep, Jones, back for Bianchi. They work this one to a perfection. Here's a shot, that one just wide, a cannon by Crowley. Bianchi, back in the corner for Lundin, 35 on the power play. Here's Matt Jones, sliding check there by Enrico as Lundin waits and takes the hit for the team. Back for Bianchi. That one goes off Casey Hankinson's stick as he drops the stick and tries to play it out for the Hornets. And I believe a penalty is coming up.
Yeah, Pete Wagner. Matt Jones wreaking all kinds of havoc into the Edina zone. Jefferson on the power play. Casey Hankinson arguing in his defense, but that's an argument that you're not going to win at this point. Just 1:44 left in regulation time, 24 seconds left on Bagskin penalty, and Hankinson's going to be in the box for 2. Pete Wagner stick it forking it. This one's over. for all intents and purposes, Edina putting up a valiant effort. No question about it. They've pretty much given Jefferson as good a game as we've seen anybody give them at this point. You have to feel sorry kind of for the Edina Hornets at this point. There's going to be a timeout called, I'm sure. Try to regroup. Bart Larson with a last-ditch effort to try to generate something, but being 2 men down against this powerful Jefferson power play, that's just too tall an order at this point.
You know, Bart, after 4 first-period goals, the Hornets pretty much shut down the Jaguars, and I'm sure if you look back over this one, if you're Bart Larson, you got to be happy with the way your club responded and went on and played the rest of the hockey game. But more importantly, if you're the Jaguars, were you playing the defensive style, or what happened with the breakdown as far as goal production?
Oh, well, P. Wagner, I think that Edina's a very well-coached team. I mean, very disciplined. They like to go from the defense out. But the thing is the adjustments that were made for Edina is they played more aggressive in the third period. They started standing up at their own blue line. They started penetrating into Jefferson's zone. They started getting some shots on goal. They're at the 20-shot plateau right now, P. Wagner, in the waning moments of regulation time in the third period. 20 shots against is something that Jefferson's not really too familiar with, and I think that this is kind of a reality check for the Jefferson Jaguars, knowing that there is competition out there that's gunning for them. They're the king of the hill at this point. There are going to be a lot of teams that are going to perhaps overachieve in spells, and Edina, I don't want to say they overachieved, but they were very effective and they were very focused on what their job was at hand.
Well, Bart, the Apple Valley Eagles will be playing the winner of this one. Looks like it's going to be the Jaguars out of the Section 5. Austin in their first ever state tournament bid. No, that's not Tier 2, Bart Archer, but they're in the Tier 1 out of the Section 1 as they beat Owatonna in a thriller 2-1 last night. The 7th seed Austin Packers.
Wow, that's kind of a Cinderella story. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be keeping a special eye on them. One dark horse team I'd like to make mention of, perhaps Park Center or Osseo. Park Center, a better squad. They have Craig Anderson back on the point and Ken Event up front, but this Osseo team is an outstanding forechecking team, and they can put a lot of pressure on the defensive team, and Osseo might be a team to watch.
Crowley, oh! Jones just wide. Enrico is there for the Hornets. 1:30 to go in the third period. 5-on-3 power play for the Jaguars. They lead 4-2. They'll play it back through. Court Lundeen pushes that one off the post. It's played to the line and out as the Hornets get a skater back. They're down to a 5-on-4 disadvantage as it's Bastian up high in the neutral zone as he'll try to play it back in the Jaguar zone, but Crowley in control. Plays it back over for Lundeen. Matt Jones, watched by Enrico. One hand right over to Bianchi, picked away there by the Hornets. We're down to 1 minute remaining in regulation, or in the third period, I should say. Here comes Enrico to the outside. Looks to go through the legs of Crowley, but what a great defenseman he is, and he makes the play. Gloves get up, and they're both gonna go.
You know, that's really too bad. A little bit of frustration. I believe Rick Enrico, definitely a leader on this team, and as we said, one of the great players in the metro area, going against another great player in Mike Crowley. I think it was just frustration at this point. Mutual respect for each other, but they're going to spend 2 minutes or the remainder of this game in the penalty box. It's kind of a sorry way to end such a stellar career for Rick Enrico, who's played an outstanding game. He's credited for Edina's first goal. That was on the power play. The centers on this Edina team: Kevin Fricky, Nick Baskin, Brian Eilers, Randy Benner, Steve Salmon, John Blueston, Tom Moe, Mike Garvin, and Matt Watson. I hope I didn't exclude anybody from that list, but these are players that had the privilege of playing for a very tradition-rich program. Bart Larson's done a great job there. You get a look at Mike Crowley, who will be back next year. Pete, it's hard to believe that he is only a junior with his skills, but a very emotional player as well, and boy, he likes to make things happen and get his nose dirty.
Bart, as a junior, really a team leader for this hockey club is Mike Crowley, and he does so many things so well. His offensive prowess has been something you and I have exploited all over our broadcast, but you know, rarely does he get beat in defensive situations.
No, he really doesn't. He's very good at playing the man and pinching out the man and releasing from the man and picking up the puck. And you know, when you have centers like Bianchi and Checo and Ian Peterson coming back and helping you out, I think that makes your job a little bit easier. And being teamed with Brian LaFleur certainly is not a problem there. But Mike Crowley going to spend the rest of this game in the penalty box, as will Hankinson and Enrico. A lot of talent in the penalty box at this point, but you really have to take your hat out to the Edina Hornets. I think they've showed tremendous grit and tremendous drive and a lot of character at this point, and there's not a team that really likes to lose, and Edina is no exception with all their tradition. 8 state championships coming into this game, and they're 1 game away. Looks like Bart Larson has taken that next step. Last year, if you'll remember, he lost to Kennedy in the semifinals, and this year he loses in the finals to Bloomington Jefferson. So next year, perhaps we're going to hear from the Edina Hornets, and they might win their trip to the state tournament. But this Jefferson Jaguar team, they look like they're going to be strong for years to come, and you really have to take your hat out to the effort that they played today against a very good Edina Hornet team.
4-on-3 power play for the Jaguars as we wind down to 38 seconds. Winner of this one looks like the Jaguars get the Apple Valley Eagles at the 2:45 face-off at the St. Paul Civic Center coming up Thursday. As a rink-wide pass is sent over for Peterson, he'll shoot, stick off the glass and around by Watson. He's been solid all day. Anderson has it. Let some time go. Here's Checo through. He scores! Jim McDonald for the Jaguars makes it 5-2.
Well, Pete, just 14 seconds left. Just over 14 seconds left in this game, 14.2. Timmy McDonald, kind of a ghost out there. He's the kind of guy that you don't really notice until he's there to kind of burn you or nail you against the boards or knock the puck off your stick. Great play. Nick Checo fishes it out to Timmy McDonald into the open goal. You have to feel bad for Matt Watson at this point. He's played just an outstanding game today, and to have him finish with a goal scored in the waning moments. This one on replay, boy, some good pressure in deep. Good pass by Checo. He spotted McDonald all alone. Boy, if he is well, what can we say?
What a career he's had. What a career he's had with
no
the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. And you can't say enough about these kids in this club. They outshoot the Hornets so far 40-20 here, leading 5-2. 25-0 is going to be their record, Bart, and they continue to roll.
Well, I hope that they take 1 game at a time in the state tournament, and this could possibly be Pete Wagner's last broadcast for the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars.
We'll get to that and more as we wind down the final seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, your Section 5 champion Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. Get ready, Apple Valley Eagles. Here come the Jaguars. You know them well. So does the state of Minnesota. We'll see if they can't do it 2 in a row. It's easy to do it once, Bart Archer, but show me twice, and then that's even tougher.
Well, no question about it, Pete Wagner. I think the 11,000 people that are in this facility were treated to a very special encounter today. The Edina Hornets coming in winners of the Lake Blue, only 1 loss on their record, and the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars have yet to be defeated to this point. Bloomington Jefferson, there you see the final, celebrating in a traditional Bloomington Jefferson fashion. 2 in a row is going to be tough, Pete. They're the king of the mountain, and they might, and there are going to be a lot of teams gunning for them. You have to wonder about Apple Valley. Very good squad, and they can do a lot of things, but this Jefferson Jaguar seem to be very focused and on a mission right now. And there you see the Jefferson Jaguar band. Boy, Pete, they've been very boisterous all game long, showing their support, as have the Jefferson Jaguar fans. You got to take your hat out to them for the support that they've brought with them today. A very special moment for the Jefferson Jaguars, especially the seniors like the Nick Checo and a cast of some very quality men with a lot of character, no question about it.
Well, Bart Archer, once again, the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars, it's been much anticipated that they would walk away with this regular season in the Lake Red. They did just that, and it's been anticipated that they'd walk away with the Section 5. They did just that, giving up just 2 goals. And they'll find themselves back in St. Paul, and they know so well what it is. And here's the key factor right here. Very physical play. A lot of embracing going on right now. A lot of respect for each club's, each side, mutual respect. You got to give them credit.
Well, no question about it. Definitely some quality individuals. I'm talking about the Rick Enrico and Bianchi getting pushed around. Boy, this is not a
here
pretty
I am
scene.
saying how great it is, and then now if you're the Jaguars, you're going to want to stay away from this.
Yeah, the thing about this situation right now is emotions run amok, frustrations. The end of a very long season, a very successful season. You don't like to see it end like this. There's nobody's fault at this point. We're not going to point the finger at anybody, but this is something that you just don't like to see, especially the finger pointing, the scoreboard pointing, and that kind of thing. Not a real typical Edina, very classy Edina team. I think they just knocked themselves down just a bit on the pedestal.
Bart, that's something we're not used to through the years, is seeing things like that. And you know, tempers do flare, but there's really no excuses for that, and here we are.
Well, Pete, there's so many subtleties that go on through the course of the game, a lot of emotion, and Coach John Bianchi is not happy at this point, neither is Coach Soderdahl, and kind of a, you know, you try to call the game as
Well, Bart, let's take a quick break here. I'd like to keep it here, but you know, since things like that happen, we'll take a quick break, and actually I guess it looks like it's all squared away.
I think it is. In fact, there's a lot of making up going on, a lot of handshaking, and this is what it's all about, P. Wagner. It's the spirit of competition, but getting back to the subtleties that happen during a game, I mean, there are a lot of emotion in this game, and these kind of things tend to happen. You don't like to see it, and it was nipped in the bud quickly. It's nice to see Coach John Bianchi out there raising some heck and getting all emotional. You can tell he's all fired up for the state tournament, no question about it, as this Jefferson Jaguar team is as well. We're going to get some awards presentations. The Section 5 runner-up Edina Hornets, Pete, they played a whale of a game. Let's not let this detract from the effort that they put in today.
There you see Kevin Fricke and Matt Watson with the second place trophy for the Section 5 for the Edina Hornets, and we'll be
might have to expand that trophy case a little bit with all the hardware in that Edina trophy case.
It's unbelievable, Bart Archer. They've already tossed away so many over the years. Remember when they had East and West, there's trophies galore. Think about it this way, from what, 73 to 82, it was those two clubs playing in the Section 6 final every year. There's 2 trophies to be added each year.
Yeah, no question about it. And Jefferson Jaguar, rightfully so, Section 5 champions, Lake Red champions, not a blemish on their record. The stage has been set. There are a lot of Davids out there, but this is the Goliath. And going into the state tournament, there are going to be a lot of teams gunning for them. A lot of people, perhaps judging from the Edina's perspective, from what we have experienced, and a lot of people are going to be taking shots at them and wanting the underdog to actually beat this Jefferson Jaguar team. But it'd be nice if they could just take a step back and really appreciate this team for what it is. It's a very special unit. Their fate's in their own hands. P. Wagner and I wish them the best of luck.
Indeed we do, Bart. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this as you're watching the Section 5 coverage of the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the Edina Hornets, the champions, the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars, as they win by a score of 5-2. We'll be back right after this.
Boy, I really did it last night. Got drunk, acted stupid, went home with... Who is that? What, am I stupid? How did I do this? Barry began to worry, really worry. What about AIDS? Then he remembered, hey, I'm just a cartoon. I don't even have to shower. Get high, get stupid, get AIDS.
Once again, Bart, your final score is the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars 5 and the Edina Hornets 2. Pretty well played hockey game on both ends. It's a little physical at its points, at its moments at the end of the hockey game, but I think the best thing to do about that would really not be talk about it too much, but talk about the positives. That's the fact that the Jaguars are going on to the state tournament for the second bid for a state title 2 years in a row.
Well, and I think that any team that has won a championship can say that the second time always seems to be a little bit harder than the first. And like I said, a lot of people are going to be gunning for Jefferson. It's not going to be an easy road because we have some newcomers to the state tournament, as you said, Austin, and Apple Valley is going to be giving them a pretty good run. And Apple Valley, boy, they're excited about being there as well. So they're going to be in with a lot of emotion. And if they can string together some good shifts and some good periods, they might be able to escape with this Jefferson team, but Jefferson's fate is in their own hands, and I think that's the situation that they want to be in.
Well, Bart, you know, you're the Apple Valley Eagles. They've become perennial visitors to the St. Paul Civic Center at the tournament, so that's another club to watch there. However, we've seen what the Jaguars have done with them, and we know their focus, and you really have to, you can't help but think that moving on is not out of the realm of possibility. Then it becomes either the Elk River Elks, who the Jaguars defeated 4-3 at the beginning of the season, the opener at Bloomington Ice Garden. Real tight checking game. Or they'll take on Anoka, the winner of that game, which is being played out as we speak now on this broadcast. But you think of your Austins, you mentioned that, some newcomers to the tournament field, but the one club that you have to look at, there's two clubs actually, and that would be Moorhead or Cloquet, as it looks like those two will play each other, Section 7 and Section 8. Moorhead, Bart, 17 straight games without a loss, and that loss the only blemish on their record to these Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars.
And a lot of hockey's been played between that time and now, so I think the Spuds from Moorhead are going to be ready to play. And I think they're going to be one of the favorites going into this. I mean, Jefferson definitely has to be considered the perennial favorite going into it, but there are other squads like Cloquet. And, you know, it kind of surprised me that South St. Paul lost to that Apple Valley team. I thought South St. Paul could give a lot of people some runs, but you know, let's focus on this moment right now. Jefferson Jaguars going back to state tournament. And we have some highlights to show, some excellent goals on both sides of the ice.
We'll take a look at those as we call them up. Here they are, Bart.
Well, there you see Mike Crowley dishing it off to Nick Checo. Nick Checo just darting in, beelining it for the goal, beats Matt Watson. That gives them a one-goal advantage. That was on the power play. There you see Matt Jones to Nick Checo again, once again beelining in. Nobody really picking him up. And here's Crowley, a little up in the air pass to Bianchi. He hits it out of midair, kind of a baseball swing. And there's Pote to Enrico. Enrico 5-holes it on Randy Keppel. And that makes it 3-1 at this point. Edina has some life. We're going to look at this one again. Pote off the boards to Enrico. He just went 5-hole on Keppel. Keppel played that very, very well, but it was a good shot that beat him at that point. And here you see in the Edina zone, back through the crease, Court Lundeen, Joey Bianchi. Good job.
That one
times
just seconds after the Hornets made it 3-1. Now they get the 3-goal lead back.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good play by Edina. They did a pretty good job of blocking everybody out and forcing everything to the outside. That was one that perhaps that Mike Crowley should have looked behind the play a little bit more, but another good save by the Edina Hornets. There's Nick Checo doing his misdirection plays. I don't think there's anybody really that can compare to Nick Checo at that point.
I think these are important highlights here, Bart, too, because this is really when the Hornets buckled down and stopped the
Indeed,
Jaguars.
and here's Mikey Garvin unloading that big blast just inside the blue line, and that pretty much got them back into it. That was 4-2. They were within 2 goals at that point, and you can tell a very happy Edina bunch at that point. And here you see some more pressure. This is Anderson, I believe, coming in, getting a good shot. Randy Keppel controlling that rebound. That Edina forward was darting in, looking for a rebound, but Keppel did a good job of controlling that puck. Excellent, excellent play by Randy Keppel and the defenseman of Jefferson. And this is a play where Jefferson gets in deep once again. Nick Checo sees an open Tim McDonald. Boy, if he was a cow grazing in a pasture, he'd have it all day long. He was wide open, and he made that one count. Dusty Anderson, he played a pretty strong game tonight, both offensively and defensively. He got that second assist on that to Nick Checo in deep, back out to Tim McDonald. He made no mistake about it. Tim McDonald, it's good to see him get involved in the scoring because he gets rewarded for all the hard work that he does. No shortage of effort as far as Tim McDonald goes.
Well, Bart, it was a tough game, and you look at a lot of the Jaguars' highlights. A lot of the goals came with players taking what was given to them and finding the man, breaking, streaking through on the weak side there, and they go backdoor with the deflections. Using their heads, good hockey sense, good hockey savvy. The I've been here before feel, and you can see it, and this club is well focused. And hopefully they can pull off another state title for their fantastic school, the Bloomington Jefferson High School. And we'll see what happens there. Another thing to be mentioned is another Lake Red team will be in the state tournament as well, either Osseo or Park Center.
Very well represented.
That could be 3 Lake Red clubs,
that could be 3 Lake
almost
Red
half
clubs.
the field.
And that doesn't bode well for the Lake Blue, of course. Lake Blue champion Edina fell today to the powerhouse Jefferson Jaguars. The thing that Jefferson has to do is not get too full of themselves, and you know, they have to soak up the tournament atmosphere, but they have to realize why they're there. I don't think there's going to be a problem with Coach Sotterdell and Coach Bianchi keeping them on an even keel at this point, but they have to keep in mind, and guys, if you happen to watch this broadcast, if somebody kind of gives you a jab after the whistle, you don't have to respond when the play isn't going on. You're going to get your chance to perhaps get a guy near the boards or get your chance, but you're going to have to play very disciplined, and I mean mentally and physically. Mentally, they're going to have to put the blinders on and really
take your shots.
Well, yeah, you know, you have to take a shot, and I think Joey Bianchi kind of sums that up because he really pays a heavy price for getting opportunities and giving opportunities. And you have to bite the bullet in certain situations, and it's very important that they know which situations those are in. You have to defend yourself, but you have to be very smart about it. But Pete, as I've said before, this is a very special team, and I don't think that I've seen a team with better balance and better depth and better blend of offense and defense in a number of years. It'd have to be more than a dozen years, Pete Wagner. So I'm looking forward to the state tournament, and you know, being this the last broadcast of our season, I'd like to thank Pete Wagner, Tom Ringdahl, Mike Smith, and the rest of the crew. I think they've done a great job, and it's just a pleasure to be a part of it, and I have an awful lot of fun. As
always, Bart Archer, we always look forward to getting together. We've had a lot of blowouts this year. We've had some good time in those third periods where we've gotten a bit out of control, try to make it entertaining any way if we could, but it's been more than a pleasure for both of us, as always, to work with this crew at BEC. They're always a crack staff. Everybody's always real well focused, great group of kids. We really appreciate all the time and effort that everybody's put into putting the cameras up, bringing them down, a lot of behind the scenes stuff you don't see. It may not look as organized as it does on your TV screen, or it is organized, but it's things we have to go through to get these things off for you. The pressure players that we have down in the van that do the job, our hats go off to you. And Bart, you know, it's almost an emotional tug for me at this juncture. I got to make the announcement. Nothing's official as of yet, but it looks like this may be, well, actually, I should even say maybe this will be my last broadcast, and we're not sure about you, Bart Archer, here at BEC-TV. A lot of static coming from the van, but hopefully I can pursue some interest down in Dallas, Texas, and I'm sure a lot of us know what that is, and hopefully we can be doing the same type of thing that I was doing up here, which would be the play-by-play. If not, I'm not going to get picky, Bart, but nothing's etched in stone as of yet. Haven't talked to anybody yet, but things look good on my end.
Well, I definitely wish you the best of luck. I know you deserve it. You put a lot of work into it, even though you show up 5 minutes before every broadcast and make me nervous as heck. But we're
planned behavior.
we're going to miss you, Pete Wagner, and I guess that your demands for a dressing room for next year are pretty much by the wayside now. So,
well, when they wouldn't give me the starred mirror on the wall, I said, forget that. Yeah. I'm out of here.
What did you tell your entourage? Did you have to give them their papers and give them the freedom to go look for new work or whatever?
Precisely.
Back to Prince's bodyguards.
Actually,
now?
Bart, the truth is I do have that goal, and I'll share it with you. Hopefully, you'll see me pop up on ESPN in about 7 to 10 years, or NBC, whichever, ABC, whichever's covering National Hockey League national telecast is something I'd really like to have someday. And hopefully we can retape this if I ever meet my goal, and we'll see if that works.
Well, Pete Wagner, I think seven years is a bit much for you. I think that you just need a little smoothing out around the edges and not much. And we might be looking at 2 or 3 years perhaps. And Gary Thorne, look out. He does a great job, Pete Wagner.
If I don't get to bring Bart Archer with, I'll tell you who I'd ask for. There's only one other guy I'd want.
Bill Clement.
No.
Who?
Who do you think?
I don't know. Probably anybody.
Dottie
really.
Cherry. Who you kidding?
Oh, my God.
What more do you want in life than Dottie Cherry? Bart, that's going to do it once again. I got to shake your hand. We've been doing these things since what, 1986 or 87?
87.
87. Start with the Hornet years and did a few of those years and come over here with BEC. We've had a great time doing these Jaguar broadcasts. We're getting misty-eyed up here at the Met Center. We better get out of here before it gets any worse. For Bart Archer and the entire staff here at BEC-TV, your final score, the Section 5 champion. Nice try, Archer. Your Section 5 champion, Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars, victorious by a score of 5-2. They'll move on to the state tournament to take on the Apple Valley Eagles. I'm Pete Wagner.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck to you at the state tournament. Make it 2. So long, everybody.